Why won't you go live? You should be going live. Come on, go live. Okay, I made sure everything was updated. Maybe it's YouTube? There we go, now it shows us live. That's weird. Tweet out to the Book of Faces. Tweet out to the Book of Faces. Share out to the Book of Faces. Tweet out to the Wazo. And alright. Hello and welcome everybody. This won the poll hands down, so this is what we're doing. So, well, maybe tomorrow or Sunday, not sure yet. Have to wait and see. Will be Path of Exile. Path of Exile, can't wait. I mean, I guess I can. Because once I get done with the podcast, I got plans. I'm like the fat pig roach. With these people in this chat, I'm almost ready to start. I'm starting up from scratch because I didn't get anything done last night. I haven't been on the interview so long. But you didn't go to bed. You're up tweeting and crying and drinking. Yes, but I was crying, drinking, and tweeting in my bedroom, guys, not my office. You sad sack of shit. And so we're stuck listening to this. God, I hope he cries some more. I want them salty tears to flow. You guys don't understand. It was just supposed to be, talking about my past and the FGC. It wasn't supposed to bring up the bank leaks or the bankruptcy. I'm glad I sent him all the bankruptcy stuff. Like, first time I tried to send it, I was like, wait a minute, you can't send like PDFs or whatever over Twitter DMs. Thankfully, upload it to Google Drive, send them a link. Ta-da! I love how DSP weasels out of the business expenses. I don't know what my expenses are. That was all the attorney's job. They did all that. Hold on, can I talk to your attorney? No! Remember, your tax guy, your attorney, whatever information they have is what you give them. If you give them bullshit, then they get bullshit. And that is why it is not their fault or their ass on the line. So if you go to your tax guy and give him absolute bullshit numbers, guess what happens if you get audited? He's not the one in trouble. You are, because you gave him bad information. Shout out Money Melly Mo, MMM. Yeah, this was just fantastic. The cope should be fantastic. I can't wait. Although DSP is gonna sit there and make us wait, isn't he? Oh, you only got 73 people watching right now? Sheesh. Figured you'd have more. More assholes like me showing up to point and laugh. Then again, maybe we're all watching Raw too, right? Shout out Raw. May have be the best Phil. Right up there with Bro Side Phil. Cope time is right. Games on games. How you doing? Okay, get out of here. Head to the Village Inn. Although a friend of mine went to the Village Inn last night and they said the parking lot was like super slippery and icy. They almost fell. It's like, oh, hopefully they'll have it taken care of before I get out there tonight. Man, even after last night, as tired as I was, I could not go to bed. Sat there and played on my phone for a bit. Like, I was too full of popcorn, soda, and left my ass off at DSP. On DSP, start the fucking stream. I gotta sit here and ban a bunch of people. Like the 1,200 people you've already banned. Actually, that 1,200 was from one mod. That was one person doing those bannings. That means others, like Darzaker himself, have banned even more. At this point, I'm surprised he hasn't banned half the internet. The rated R superstar Cope. Wonder why he changed his name to that. That was a stupid idea. Like, how you can change your name to Cope? Like, do you not understand what that means? I love that PvP is defending, quote unquote, DSP on Twitter. It's like, holy shit. He's even doing like 16 exclamation points. Like, he is straight up making fun of Phil and Phil doesn't see it. Last night was amazing, Luis. Have you seen Captain America yet? He's gonna have to ban even more people. I love it. On your sister's house? Alright. America, Captain America. I know, because some people were saying like the Captain America movie was pretty much a Hulk 2 without the Hulk, because Disney doesn't have the rights to the Hulk. I was like, you know what? After watching the movie, I can definitely say it is a Hulk 2. Doesn't mean it's bad? No. Just because it's Hulk 2 doesn't mean it's bad. But it was definitely the Hulk 2. Like, how are you gonna have every single character but Hulk from the first Hulk movie be in this movie? But still very much worth watching. 7.5 out of 10. Some okay cameos that you were expecting. Declonius. Twilight. Oh, I ain't gonna spoil too much there, DSP. Yes, DSP's final interview went out with a bang. It was fantastic. Super Saiyan 4 Goku canon. Wait, what? And what, Daima? They have him appear in Daima or something? Red She-Hulk? Nah. That's what happened to regular She-Hulk. They may try to avoid She-Hulk for a bit, unfortunately. Super Saiyan 4 isn't Daima? Oh, that's awesome. Oh yeah, very first thing, Dragon Ball Daima Episode 18 is breaking the internet with canonical anime introduction of Super Saiyan 4 Goku after 28 years. Awesome! Well, just like there's green Hawk, green She-Hawks, there's reds, there's yellows, there's blues. There's a whole assortment of rainbows of Hawks. Depending on what radiation they got and all that. Cheetah! But it's not that SS4. Could happen. I think you only had one, maybe two snorts the entire night, and they weren't very noticeable. I mean, he did his best to keep his calm when, like, Broside Phil showed up and all that. I just love the description of, man F's a pig for 2 hours, then a cop shows up and F's a pig for an hour. So now, you know Broside Phil's gonna be a detractor meme. Stop calling me bro, I'm not bro! Oh, that should be it. Everyone should start calling DSP bro. Just so he gets salty about it. I'm not bro! Stop calling me bro. Why is everyone in my chat calling me bro? I'm not bro. I'm the king. You can't call the king a bro. I'll say Bro Seinfeld's a former cop. Now he does like private security or something like that. Like, man, I was not expecting a guest appearance. Glad we got one though. Best cameo of the night. Even after watching Captain America, best cameo of the night was Bro Seinfeld showing up. Guys, there's no proof that he's an ex-cop. He's a detractor. He's probably lying about that, guys. You guys are idiots if you really believe a actor. Come on, DSP. It is 2:19. You're now like 15 minutes later than you usually are. Get fucking started. We want to laugh at you. He's only at 51 viewers? Holy shit. Like, there's no one showing up. Did this interview kill him? Or his support, whatever you want to call it. Like, holy shit, he has 51 viewers right now. Roadside Phil showed up with about an hour to go. And he also had receipts. Like, DSP's like, oh, what was the case number file for when I talked to the police? And then Roadside Phil dropped the file number. He's like, oh, shit. Like, you just hear DSP shit himself when that happened. I was like, oh shit, this guy actually does have receipts. Fuck. DSP is Jover. Alright, that's getting pinned. That should be, that is 100% pin message right there. DSP is Jover. Love it. Guys, YouTube's not letting me start. It says I can't start the stream till I have at least 100 people watching. Oh, he's up to 59 viewers now. But yeah, this chat, hey, Phil has told a lot of hard truths to his audience. Steve laid them all out. Please watch an interview before you send your hard-earned money. Interview didn't look good for Phil last night. Didn't bring him much evidence back up his side. Day's going alright. Almost got done with the anime I've been watching. Miggly and Dolly, a very, very weird one. Always on a quest to find the weirdest shit. The weirder I can find, the better. And I got laundry done, I got vacuuming done, I got dusting done. I've got my bed made. Like, I'm making sure my place is immaculate before tonight. Roadside is now in IT. I know it's something private security, something like that. DSP is angry Jover. Oh, he's up to 63 people now. It is 2:22 my time. Like, dude, he is super fucking late. Is he really just waiting to get to 100 viewers or more? Ooh, what Lego set? Legos would be something, because I used to love Legos as a kid. And my great-grandfather on my dad's side had all these, like, old Lego sets. Like, before they were called Lego sets, he had them. Man, it'd be cool to get back into Legos. But one nephew was huge into them. So I was like, alright, hey, buy a Lego set. And it's like, he's 8. This is like 14 plus. Well, we'll help him. You got this for you, didn't you? Maybe. But hey, no, we get to hang out with your nephew, get to build something cool. Although my brother and I were both looking at the pirate ship like, hey, remember that pirate ship that was really fucking cool back in the day? Yeah? And holy shit, yeah. Neither one of us make the kind of money required to buy that pirate ship. I think it's pretty funny, right? It's like, why are you guys on Amazon looking at Lego sets for 14 plus? I'm only 8. It's like, shut up, kid. This ain't for you. Ooh, building a Taj Mahal. Knockoff set, hey, probably cheaper. Man, some of those Lego sets are insanely expensive. Ooh, Pirates of the Caribbean. First 3 movies, fantastic. Everything after that, still worth watching. It's like, oh, hey, the first 3 were, 8 out of 10s. Then the next one's, 7 out of 10s. It's like, oh, it's not as good. It's like, yeah, but it's still worth watching. There's only 61 viewers. Holy shit. 25 minutes. He's still not started the stream. And at one point, they were up to, I think, $10,000 for DSP to do the polygraph test, but only if he passed. Because after being offered 5,000 other stuff, like, hey, like, duty streams, like, guys, I'm retired, I have more than enough fucking money. If he does the polygraph test and passes it, I'll give it another $5,000. And it's like, $10,000 was not enough for DSP to do a polygraph test because he knew he'd fail. Lego, those are crazy expensive, but super huge. Oh, it was like 4 feet long or something like that. It was like, holy shit. I don't want that one though. Cope, cope, cope. Beg, beg, beg. Retcon, retcon, retcon. Salt, salt, salt. Those are my predictions. That one, nice guy. So is DSP just not gonna start the stream ever? It's like, yeah, Timbo, Slice, and others have declared bankruptcy while supporting DSP. But guys, it's okay. Once they get any money, it's my money. Oh yeah, snorts and burps and throat clears directly into the microphone. You can't forget those. Got 2 stone Holly. Damn. Sounds like you had a good night. He's never come clean about those bank leaks. He'd be admitting to fraud. Bankruptcy and tax fraud. So he can never come clean about those. Oh wow, guys, it's up to 66 viewers. Could that interview really be what killed his show? Could this really be the part where, after seeing all laid bare like that of, hey, you said you got a haircut on this day, and oh look, there's the bank charge for it. Oh, you said you got a haircut done this day, and there's the bank charge for it. Then here's your, $1,800 just in WWE champions for that month. Amazing how it all matches up. Oh, that's definitely going to be something said a lot, Mithra. I was going to give him the full story, but he kept cutting me off. And then Steve would be like, all right, fine, go. And then DSP, well, are you going to let me talk? Like, yes, talk right now. Well, you said talk. Talk right now. Go ahead. You see, 17 years ago, I was working a helicopter. We don't care about 17 years ago. We're talking about the haircuts lining up with the bank leaks. You gotta let me tell you the full story. 17 years ago, I was working for a helicopter company. Ooh, there's a good question I was thinking of. How much does DSP get today? Because I initially thought maybe he'd get a lot of his fans showing up. Oh, it's okay, DSP, we still love you. Here's $5, here's $10, here's $20, here's $150. Oh, here comes Iron Subs guy with 50 gifted memberships. Oh, wow, here comes this guy. But with only 75 viewers, I don't know. I mean, he just now got to 75 viewers, and he should have started, what, half an hour ago? Could this be the stream that doesn't start? It was a stream that wouldn't start. The stall time went on and on. Some people started watching it, expecting it to start, but they'll continue waiting forever just because this is a stream that wouldn't start. A dent is one of his fans. You have dents that are the watchers, pay pigs that give very little money, dolphins that give some money, then you get the whales that give a lot of money. Like Irish Chef Sakai and OIC whales. Lucky Gremlin gives a little bit, so we'll call him a dolphin. Then the people who show up, no, once a month gave him a $5 membership. Those are pay pigs. And the like Jade who just watches, that's gonna be a dent. Although we love Jade, don't call him a dent. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jade. Please forgive me. Like, unlike, say, Derek or DSP himself, like, Jade is actually, like, born mentally handicapped. Like, you do not insult him. Like, it is not his fault that DSP's Pignosis is able to work on him. Kind of like when you steal candy from a baby. Like, well, they're a baby. What do you expect? It's gonna be easy. Like, you don't blame the baby. God, I started GoFundMe to find Jade a new streamer to watch. Like, she should at least watch Ninja or something. Someone who's entertaining. Forever he will snort, while stream never starts. Really feel like he's not gonna start it, or it's finally gonna start. It's gonna be him hanging from the roof. Oh no! Or the ceiling, whatever. And then the message on the screen will be, "You made me do this, duty. This is all your fault, duty. Weren't for evil AJ making this how you don't play, as I want to be doing this, but I had to." Who's up to 82 viewers? Come on, guys, get up to 100 viewers so we can start the stream. Actually, don't. If he never actually reaches 100 viewers, and so he just never starts to stream, oh my god, that'd be fantastic. Guys, I don't get it. YouTube wasn't working. I couldn't get YouTube to work, guys, so I just had to end the stream. Drunken sailor, what would you do with a drunken sailor? What would you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises. Damn it, the song's stuck in my head. Oh, very good point, Benny. He'd hang some from the ceiling fan. Shiny mud cups. Aw, you love your wife so much you give her one. What would you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Ah, this is the only bad part about Raw Philly. He plays such good music, then it gets stuck in your head. Hire him at Exxon. So Exxon had like what, 2 ships hit ashore, and now I was, oh, Exxon, terrible. Oh, hey, he's finally starting. He's only at 83 viewers though. Uh-oh. Are we about to have
Okay.
a tech stream?
I think we have technical issues again. So I'm trying to figure this out.
Oh,
Before we
tech
start.
stream!
First of all, let me make sure my mic is still working. Didn't get screwed up. Do I sound normal, everyone, before we begin? Do I
Sound
sound
like you've been
normal?
drinking and crying all night.
Has anything changed here, or does this sound okay? Because the last time I was on that chat or that streaming thing, it screwed my mic up. My mic sounds okay? All right. Problem I'm having is this. The camera's not working. And I don't know why. Hold on.
Chad, give him $150. He might be able to fix it. I say he's only got 83 people watching. Holy shit. This is low even for... God.
What happened?
People saw the interview and saw how much of a lying sack of shit you are.
I have no clue. Okay, that's not good, because if I can't get this camera working, we will have no face cam today. So hold on. Here we go again, everyone. I can't even do my regular show. I can't do my regular show.
You don't need the face
Because we
cam.
gotta have nonsense, right?
You went 15 years without a face cam. You don't need
All
one.
right. No, I'm not okay, Piper. I just wanted to start the show today. No, really. I just wanted to start the show, and the camera won't even turn on now. And I didn't do a Windows update. I didn't change anything, so it makes no sense that it didn't turn on.
God, tech stream. This is like the anti-Kino arc. Has had the opposite effect exactly. I would say he's been slamming the gin, I'm sure. And guzzling bottle after bottle of gin. Multiple handles gone. Like tears in the rain. DSP, no one gives a shit about your face cam or whatever. Just play the fucking game.
It turned on blue, then it turned off. Okay, it's working. I can't.
And he's
Dude,
at 85 viewers.
This camera gives me a heart attack every day. It doesn't want to work. Some days it'll work for like 3-4 days in a row, and then all of a sudden it'll stop working. So why did I have to unplug and replug it in to get it to work? I have no idea, but now it's working again.
Turn it off, turn it back on.
Well,
gee, that's like #1 rule
okay,
for
so that's working
this kind
there.
of stuff.
Close this now. Let's test it now. Hold on. I think I have to unselect and reselect it again, because it is working now.
Oh, he got destroyed last night, Albert Cole. It was fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It wouldn't be here we go. It wouldn't be a normal day here on stream if something wasn't working, right? Can you imagine if one of these days I turned on my stream and everything was working? You believe that? All right. I guess we could start the show now. That's what I mean. Like, I was just about to start and it's not working. All right. Well, let's get back to usual. Let's actually do the formal beginning now. There we go.
Wow, so what, you're gonna stop the stream now? Because you're still not at 100 viewers, you're at 87. Watching So Leveling. So I gotta wait for the season to be done, then I can binge watch it. But now I'm binge watching Miggy and Dolly. Very weird. But again, that's what I'm looking for. The weirder the better. Really, he did all that, got his stream going, and then just, nope, alright, well, tell me I get to 100. Or maybe he is actually going to start it. Ooh. Did he realize he's never actually going to get to 100 today? My bots aren't loading, guys. Help! Why do you have Disney Castle in your stream there, DSP? What the fuck? What the fuck does raindrops have to do with your stream? What does any of this have to do with this stream? I don't get it. Never read of his entrance. Jin, Jin, Jin. He doesn't want to be Mr. Jin. That's what he's known for. Wearing a knight's
What is going on,
armor
everyone? On today's show,
crown.
We got a big disaster to talk about. That's right. One of the biggest flops ever. One of the most unpredictable, unexpected things that was ever have gone down in history happened last night. That's right. The Elden Ring network test was a huge flop, and we're going to talk all about it on today's show and maybe a few other things. So, sit back and relax. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for my week-ending edition of the Level 1 Podcast.
How do you have 6 intros for one stream, DSP? Kind of weird you got 6 intros for one stream. Yeah, he's so pissed about the interview. Pig's tears is grease. Gross. I just love how nice and calming his music is. I could just kick back, relax, take a nap. Let all my cares slip away. Then, oh god, that face shows up.
Alrighty, everybody. What is going on? It is Friday, the 14th of February.
Friday. Gotta get down on Friday.
Some people call today Valentine's Day. Other people call today Bloody Friday. For some people, it's just a normal day, I guess. For others, it's a day of romance. Today will be interesting and likely will go down in history.
Realize he's married. Different
reasons.
He's not spending it with his wife.
But I hope that you're all doing well. I hope you're ready for a good show. Today we got a few things to talk about. I'm not sure if you're aware of what they are. Anyway,
he's not spending any of this time with his
topics of discussion. Okay, first off, we actually do have to talk about the Elden Ring network test. That supposedly was supposed to be last night. Well, I say last night. It was supposed to be this morning, from 3 to 6 a.m. It didn't really happen. And so, a lot of people
hear
that
they're going to be ending the slime manga
moving forward. We're going to talk about that on the show because this might affect the schedule today in a big way if we can't play. It really was like a train wreck failure. And of course, this next week is going to be full of new game content. However, I am actually planning on taking an extra day off next week, spend some time with my wife, well-deserved. All right, and so because of that, it's going to be a shorter week.
But you can't spend time with her on Valentine's Day,
I'm going to miss one day when there is, I think, a new release. It's not that big of a deal, and I'll explain it to you because, we've gone through the game release schedule and taking a look at, what's actually coming out on that day. I don't think it's like world-ending to delay my coverage of that particular game a few more days. All right. And, of course, we are going to be talking about last night's appearance on the Truth Seeker show.
On a Truth Seeker show, he tried to seek the truth. How dare he?
All right. But what's funny about it is, this
he
may be a
finally broke
situation
100
where
viewers,
I actually,
102 viewers.
Don't have to say anything about it, where people will just ask me questions and I'll answer them.
Another movie for slime?
I mean, most people have watched and judged for themselves, and there's opinions all over the place, right? Essentially, if you were a detractor of mine, you loved it. If you're a fan of mine, you hated it. If you're somewhere in the middle, you're probably like, what the hell is that?
Right? I don't know if I watched that render anime. It does look interesting. That's
kind of like where I am at right now. I'm just kind of like, I really don't know what the hell that was, to be frank. Nor do I know how to really react or respond.
DSP?
Because it's obviously not what I was expecting. It's not what I was told. And it just leaves me scratching my head like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't. So we're going to talk about all of that. All right? Cool. Um, so my neck is killing me again. This sucks. Like yesterday, my neck actually felt good. For the first day yesterday, as I was streaming Call of Duty, I actually didn't feel any neck strain. And I was like, oh, maybe my neck is getting better. Now, I still can't move my head to the right. I still get nerve pinching and pain, but like it wasn't just like hurting me all day. And I was like, oh, this is a good thing. Now, all of a sudden this morning it hurts again. Yeah, you know, you could say it could be a million
Womp
reasons
womp.
why. I don't know. I was sleeping on the same pillow last night. So I don't know. Maybe I accidentally moved my neck this morning or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I'm gonna do my best. At least I'm not playing Call of Duty because I think that would have given me the most strain. I am playing Street Fighter. And that stresses me out, but it's not really gonna strain my neck, I don't think. So hopefully it won't be that big of a deal. But it sucks. Like right now it hurts. So if you see me like looking and feeling uncomfortable, it's because I am actually in pain right now. Trying to, you know, tough through it and ignore it or
Pain,
whatever.
guys. Give me money to get my pain.
So, yeah, it sucks. All right. And what are we doing today? Well, here's the deal. It's confusing because I don't know what I'm doing on the late stream. Let's talk about that. First stream, we're set. Right after this podcast, I'll be doing Street Fighter 6 and taking my Shiranui to master rank. At least that's the intention. I hope with the 3-hour stream, you know, I'll do a little bit of warm-up for casual play, but then hopefully we'll be able to get her to master by the end of the stream, right? I hope. We'll see. If I do, that's great because I haven't gotten a character to master in a while. I haven't actually liked the character as much since what, Bison last year, and that was what, June, July? Can't really remember when M. Bison released, but you know, it'll be fun. I've actually enjoyed playing with her. In the game, I think she's a fun character.
Been playing with her,
we'll see how it goes.
I thought you were married.
Okay. But what really is confusing me right now is the late stream. I think we should get this out of the way first because probably the rest of the podcast is going to be talking about last night, right? So the late stream tonight, okay, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, I had planned on playing the Elden Ring network test. Now, the network test is running 5 slots. The first slot was this morning from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. And as you guys knew, there was no way I was going to be doing it in the middle of the morning. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You were awake at that time, though. He was awake at 3 o'clock in the morning.
But there's a major problem. And I know none of you are even really talking about it because of the drama that happened last night, right? But we got to address this. It didn't work. Like, everyone went to play this network test last night and sat at the menu as they had constant errors. The very few people who got in only got to play day 1, meaning it's a 3-day cycle to see what the Elden Ring Night Rain will be. And they barely got to even finish day 1, and then it would crash. So essentially, it's just not functional. And I'm sure that they're going to be doing some tweaks between this morning and tonight's session, which starts at 7 p.m. Pacific time. But I want you to think about it this way. If the first test was at a time frame that most of the English speaking audience would have been playing it because it was the middle of the night, right? Can you imagine what's going to happen when they try to do the network test tonight when all of the English speaking areas are trying to play it at once? Plus the other people who were trying to play the first time and couldn't get in are also trying to play it. I think what's going to happen is I don't know if this thing's going to work all weekend. All right. I'm going to try. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm going to try, and I absolutely want to try.
Do try.
Night Rain looks really good, right? It's an interesting premise, a roguelike Elden Ring, right? Teaming up with others and trying different combat styles and fighting bosses from various different games that don't belong in Elden Ring. It's such a weird concept. It's very original. I can't wait to play it, but don't know if it's going to work. If it doesn't, all right, the good news is it's not like it's the end of the world. If it doesn't work, I think what we should do is finish up Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which we only have about maybe an hour, 2 hours tops to finish because we only have 2 chapters left. That way, at least it's not a waste of a night stream, and we'll be able to finish up a game that's an ongoing playthrough and move on to other stuff. All right, so that'll be our backup plan. Is if Elden Ring doesn't work tonight,
I'd probably be doing that anyway, DSP.
Then we're going to do
so you don't get struck down. But hey, we want to get struck.
Now, of course, this also screws up the schedule for Sunday because Sunday night I was also going to do the network test. That was supposed to be its last session. And if this thing's just not working, it means we got to find something else to do. You know what I'm saying?
After years of loving them, we're making them so much fucking money.
all that being said, it sucks when I can't consistently promise you what we're gonna do on a stream. I hate that. I really do. I hate that. Because I'm the kind of guy that likes to be consistent and tell you, have a set schedule. I like order, right? I like having like an
You're
outline
autistic as shit.
to everything that I do so that you know exactly what's going on when. I don't think that it's not that adjusting stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to ban an idiot. It's not that adjusting stuff
Trying
on
to
the
ban an idiot,
fly
guys. Why is an idiot?
is the
He
worst
said I'm an
possible thing
idiot.
or anything.
Well, you are.
You know what I mean? But what'll happen is people are going to show up tonight for Night Rain, and if Night Rain doesn't work, I get the feeling they're all going to leave. And here I am.
Say
I'm
he's
like, well,
posted so much shit over the years.
I don't know how many people are going to stick around.
Together.
That sucks. What I would say is if you're going to come on tonight to my late stream, please at least just hang out. You know what I'm saying? Like, just chill with me.
Just chill and give me money.
And see what happens. And if we play Night Rain, great. And if not, let's still just try to have a good time together. Okay? Cool. So next week's schedule, like I said, let's get everything else out of the way before we get to what we're going to talk about as the meat of the podcast, okay? Next week's schedule is going to be kind of all over the place because there's new content like all week long, and so we're going to be juggling many different things. So, for example here,
What, you're going to ban someone else?
On Saturday, Saturday I'm off. I'm off tomorrow. It's my day off from work.
Tomorrow, YouTube
Sunday,
2012.
when I come back on the 16th, it's going to be Onimusha Warlords on the first stream. Played this yesterday. Really liked it. Had a ton. Yesterday, 2 days ago. And really liked it. Had a ton of fun with it. I think it's a great game. I'm glad that I'm finally experiencing, these classic games that I had missed from back in the day. And so that should be a great daytime stream for Sunday. Sunday night is either going to be the Elden Ring Night Rain beta, or it could be the conclusion of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black if we to do it that day, or it could be something else, but I just don't know what else, right? I'm thinking like, what should we do instead? I mean, we could possibly do some Call of Duty or something like that, but the thing is, I already have Call of Duty scheduled for Monday, so I'm not exactly sure. Basically, Monday is kind of the whatever day. We could do Call of Duty. We could do Street Fighter. We could do the Marvel Collection. We could play Balatro. We could do anything on Monday. All right?
It's a world of pure imagination.
Tuesday is the big day. Tuesday, the 17th, Tuesday, the 18th is a double new release day. There's Avowed and there's Lost Pause, and I'm going to be trying both games, okay? So double new releases, and then over the course of the week, I'll be playing those, but also the Fatal Fury open beta supposedly is going to be later on in the week. I think people were saying Thursday. So because of that,
stall.
I think that it will be some good variety. Now, here is the thing, all right? I'm not going to be here on Friday of next week, nor Saturday. I got a 2-day block off next week. So I'll be here Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 straight days. But I won't be here Friday or Saturday. I'm taking some extra time off to spend with my wife. We talked about it and said, we want to have a day off, but we didn't want to have it be today because it's Valentine's Day. And if we went out today to do anything,
couples therapy,
there'd be insane amounts of people competing to do things like eating at a restaurant or shopping. Probably the traffic.
Oh, man, timeline DSP would be insane.
We prefer to do things when it's not as busy. So we're going to go out actually next week.
Exactly, anything to avoid playing games.
And do stuff together. Okay? So with that being said, the one bummer about that is that Friday the 21st is a new release day. It is Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii comes out that day. Am I going to play it? I think I am. Like, I really want to play this game. My issue is last year, okay, I played Like a Dragon Infinite Well. I played the entire game. It was incredibly lengthy, and I got nothing but shit from the audience. So many people were saying, oh, don't play this game. We don't like it. Why are you still playing this game? We wish you would drop this game. Attendance was always low. Support was slow whenever I played the game. So it basically ended up being the game that was kind of like my game that I'm playing because I like it, but it was very hard to get an audience for it. All right. Will this pirate game be the same? Well, it is more action-based. It's not turn-based combat. But we all know that Yakuza games are very overblown, very lengthy in the story, giant cut scenes, right? I get the feeling the game will be lengthy. I do. I think it's going to end up being just as long as the recent Yakuza games.
Exactly. We're waiting for the retcon of last night.
So I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I want to play it,
I got a hold of
absolutely. Like,
PPP, and
it's on my
PPP says he
radar.
still
It's
loves
in
me,
my schedule.
guys.
I want to do it, but it's tough because these days I'm trying to find things to do that people want to see. I'm not broadcasting for myself. I'm broadcasting for an audience that shows up and engages and likes the
And gives me
content. And
money.
because of that, they support the content. So I don't know if I should play this game or not. I absolutely, positively, 100% want to. But if every single time that I play this game ends up being the slow stream where we don't hit a goal and everything's, off, I don't know. I guess the question is, what do you guys think? Right? That's
And
really
then
the
I can
question I
ban
need
you
to
for
pose.
disagreeing with me.
I want to play it. It is something I
Sequel
want
to
to
his
do.
life part 2, yes.
I know I'm going to enjoy it. Okay? I know it'll be chill fun. I know for those that like these games, you're going to have a great time with me. Okay? But does it make sense
to play a game
to
you don't
play
give me
a
all the
game that
money?
you know is going to be long, that you know is going to be taking up a lot of stream time, when it doesn't seem like my audience really likes it that much? I don't know. It's a tough question, right? I think it is. These days, things are becoming increasingly more complicated when I'm getting pulled in a million directions, right? And my time is so valuable. Right
Your
now,
time is not
I'm not even
valuable. What
kidding
the
you.
fuck
Right
is
now, I
wrong
got
with
people
you?
saying you should be playing more retro games. Why don't you play retro games? They're really good. Why don't you play more indie games? You've been playing indie games in the last few months. It's been great. Why don't you do more of that? Why aren't you playing every hot new release, right? Are you seriously going to skip all RPGs moving forward? I don't know. I just, so many questions. I don't know. Dabian says it's only meant to be around 15 hours long, maybe 25 if you do side stuff. If that is the case, then it's not
So
as
that's
long
pretty
of a game.
short.
Maybe that will help me,
For a Yakuza game,
right?
anyways.
To figure it out. See, and everyone has different opinions. Like, for example, here you go. Okami Matchup says you'll still have audience members who enjoy whatever you do. Don't stress so much about this. Valcule says this is a side game. It's not going to be as long, but probably if it's not a fit for your audience, skip it. Do you see what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's very hard to tell these days what people will show up for and what people will actually watch and support.
And then follow
it's a tough question, right? So I don't know. Well, we got to try to figure this out, right? We do together. Maybe over the course of this week, let's talk about it. Either way, I can't play it on Friday because I'm not.
Either way, you need gas.
All right, the earliest I could play it would be Sunday, the 23rd, is when I would begin it. So let's talk about it over the weekend. Maybe try to figure this out. Okay. But anyway, this week's going to be great. If the network test works for Night Rain, that's going to be good. If Avowed and Lost Paws are good, 2 new games for the rotation. I'm still going to continue on with the Onimusha playthrough. We're going to wrap up the playthrough of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which should be fun. So it's going to be a good 5+ days of gaming next week. Should be a good one. All right. All right. So, what's up? Wait, there was one more thing I wanted to talk about before we got to
wanted
the
to
discussion
delay
about
with
last
one
night.
more thing. Got to delay.
I just want to do some housekeeping stuff. As you guys know, we have some new goals and stuff in effect, and we talked about it on yesterday's podcast. So just to reiterate,
here comes some bagging.
Here's what we're working towards. Okay. Every single time that
Very
we hit
true,
a goal,
Phantom. He'll blame
which is right there. That's the goal for the stream.
Messing with the pole.
All right. I owe you guys a new taste test out of the Turkish Treats box. Okay, so that's kind of cool. And these are different. These are way different than the treats that were in the Japanese box. And we already saw yesterday. I had 2 of these. One was this giant wafer thing. And the other one was this delicious hazelnut candy bar. So very different stuff in here than what was in the Japanese box. So every time we hit a goal, you're going to get one of these. Okay? But also, we're working towards our next milestone.
Are you doing DSP Gaming or are you doing Dark Side Phil?
And we talked about this yesterday.
Because he had Dark Side Phil before he had DSP Gaming.
Seems like the best idea we came up with is to return to McDonald's for DSP Tries It. But in this case, it's going to be the Shamrock Shake.
So he has nothing but time in the world.
Which I haven't had. I couldn't even tell you when I last had it. It's been so long. I can tell you this, I didn't like it when I had it last time, many, many years ago. So it's a mint-flavored shake that McDonald's brings back every, March-ish for I almost said for Valentine's Day. They bring it back for St. Patrick's Day. So they just brought it back. And in addition to that, right now they're doing some special meal from some WNBA basketball player. So I was like, well, let's do it all, right? I'll order the meal. I'll order the shake. We'll just kind of do this big McDonald's DSP Tries It event. And by the way, before people are like, oh, why McDonald's? Did you know that the McDonald's DSP Tries It that I did a few months ago was the most viewed DSP Tries It that I have done since I brought the show back in the fall. It actually just brought in more interest, and I think it is because everyone has McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, you could probably stop whatever you're doing and either walk a block or jump in your car and drive 2 blocks and be at a McDonald's, right? So when you see me do a DSP Tries It for McDonald's, like, that's something that I could probably do for myself relatively easily. And I think that's some of the interest in the series is when I do stuff that you also can get.
Here comes the
money, taste test, and if I like
money.
I'm not even kidding you. After I did the Arby's DSP Tries It a couple days ago, no less than 5 different people sent me pictures of them eating the Arby's burger, saying, I had no idea it was good, and it's really good. Thanks for telling us about it. So I think that's the appeal. You know what I mean? And so, that's the goal. Let's see what happens. Now, obviously, today be a good day for some support. And what I'd like to do is to start with a couple quick shout-outs here, all right, of people who had contributed before we get to the topic at hand. So we've got a $2 tip that came in here from Flatman B. He says, what's up, everyone? Happy Friday. Peace and love. Well, thank you, Flatman. I hope that you're also having a good Friday. A lovely day.
Guys, I just got the bill from my auto insurance. My 6 months of full coverage auto insurance is like $907. Oh, wait. My tax return was $853. Almost paying for it. Gee, it's almost like I had my... What did you call it? My car insurance for 6 months come out just after I get my tax return done. For that reason, because my tax return pays for the car coverage. Amazing how when you don't just get drunk blackout every single fucking night, you can plan ahead. Like, well, let's see, get my tax return on this day. Now, 3 weeks later, my auto coverage comes out for 6 months. Wow, they pay for each other. Nice. I mean, I guess I could just, just slam a bottle of gin every single fucking night, wake up like, huh? $907 came out of my bank account? What the fuck, guys? I didn't authorize that. Guys, I don't get it. I'm going to spend an hour bitching about it on my stream, then realize, oh, wait, it was my auto insurance coming out for 6 months.
Go up on the leaderboard.
Amazing what happens when you plan ahead. Right, Ace Man?
And it looks like there was another $2 tip. Don't play the Yakuza game. It's going to be boring for us to watch. So you see what I mean? Like, we're already immediately getting conflicting opinions. Some people are like, well, if you want to play it, you really should play it. You should play games that you really want to play and enjoy. You should just have that freedom. I'm going to give you some honest feedback that I've received from several different people, okay? Some people are under the impression that it really doesn't matter what I'm doing. It doesn't matter what I'm playing. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. It doesn't matter what time it is. I have people who will come by and support when they can, okay? And therefore, I'm going to have slow streams, no matter what. It's going to happen. And I should just say, I'll play what I want, and eventually the contributions will just come. And as much as I do believe that that is true for some people, like, for example, I would say there actually are people who will just come by when they actually can. They will contribute when they can. They don't really care what I'm doing on a particular stream at all. I actually do believe, though, that there are groups of people that will come by and support when I'm doing something that particularly they're enjoying. And I'll give you an example. The other day, I was playing some indie games, and someone particularly came by and dropped a bunch of contributions and says, hey, I'm doing this particularly because you're playing these indie games, and I like this. This is something, that you don't often do. It's fun. It's different. It's what I want to see, so here you go. So if I can figure out what it is that people want to see more, then I'll please more people, and it will bring support. Do you understand? So that's what I mean. Like, I do feel like, yes, that is a true statement. That there are people who will come by whenever, and they're going to support me whenever, and that's my established support base. But there are also people who do come by, who support when I'm doing something they like. And that's what I mean with Yakuza. I just don't know. I actually don't have all the answers here. I think it's something that we need to discuss over the week. I want to play it. I really do.
Officially 20 years
I don't know
old.
if it's going to work for the audience. All right? We'll have to talk about it. All right. Well, I think that I've wasted enough time.
Let's say we also had a Dev Google Plus.
I'm pretty good at this.
Probably less as long as it did.
I'm pretty good stalling, right? I think I am.
I'm pretty good at stalling,
23 minutes. I didn't even really talk about what everyone wants to hear about yet. I kept it all in suspense. How many viewers do we have? Let's see.
102.
Over 400 viewers here on my stream on YouTube. What do we got over on Kick? Wait a minute. Over 100 viewers on Kick? I never have over 100 viewers on Kick. What is wrong with you? What are you doing? Why are you here? Really? I never have over 100 viewers on Kick. Well, how about this? If you want me to start talking about last night, we're going to have to get some support. Just going to have to get some support going, right? You understand? So here's the thing. The last night, there's a lot of criticism being thrown around about me asking for support. So if you want me to start talking about that criticism, you're just going to have to support the stream. We're going to have to get some super chats. We're going to have to get some memberships. We're going to have to get some subs right now. In fact, why doesn't someone drop a 50 tip right now? I mean, let's do it. I mean, what's going on? What are you doing? 2 tips? That's all I got so far today? 2 tips? $4. My time not worth more than $4 to you? You're all here. You're all here for the show. Why aren't you supporting the show? Oh, my God. I'm thirsty. Hold on.
Take a sip, sleazy asshole.
That's right. Gigachattius, is it, or Gigachattist? Is it Gigachattist said, we're going to need 100 sub bomb to continue on with the show today. I think I'm right. Seriously, maybe we should just wait. Maybe we should just wait for some contributions. Kenny D did a $5 Canadian super chat and says, I'm the biggest tip. Well, you're not, because that's not a tip. That's a super chat. You are the biggest super chat. You're the only super chat. For sure. So let's get that up on the leaderboard here, Ken. I always forget the conversion rate of Canadian. Let me check it again. I know it's kind of silly that I have to do this, but I do want to count stuff properly. So it's CA to USD. Canadian, it's 71 cents. So your $5 Canadian is $3.53. I was actually going to say it was around $3.33, and I actually was pretty close.
Oh, Canada,
Kenny D.
we stand on guard.
$3.53. That gets us up to not 4. I don't know why I have 45. That's incorrect. It was 4. That would be 7. We're at $7 of support so far today. All right, so how about we get it to 50, and then when we get to 50, I'll start talking about last night's show. How about that?
Is he going to actually try this? That'd be hilarious.
Yes. Oh, this is great. Yeah, absolutely. Someone just said, can we send a doctor to your house to test you for autism? Yes. Let's just do it. Let's have everyone come. We'll have people coming in my doors, like a rotating. What I'm going to do, I'm going to change my front door to be one of those rotating storefront doors. You know, when you see like a department store or train station, you know, it just keeps rotating. We're going to have doctors coming in. We're going to have lie detector test people coming in. We're going to have, everyone's going to be coming in doing tests and things. It's going to be great. We're going to have cameras going constantly. We're going to have teams of people here filming and streaming. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Because of
this
DSP
is
obviously what everyone wants, right? It's a perfect idea. Let's just get it going right now. Let's. Yeah, imagine the support. No, here's the truth, Lord Lunch Meat. All right, because I was talking with various people about stuff this morning. Because now we're going to get to the subject now. Okay. Here's the deal. With me, drama doesn't sell. You understand? Like, when drama happens regarding me, okay, there's a whole bunch of people who benefit, okay? Here's who benefits with drama, all right? My detractors, who all get to make content, who all get to stream, who all get to make a zillion videos off of everything, hyper-focusing on every little piece, and it blows up. You know what I'm saying? So they always make out, right? The React communities. Not my detractors, but the actual React communities. They make out because they get to analyze the drama I'm involved in, but then they get to analyze my detractors and how they get involved in it. Like the React communities eat well when I get involved in drama, right? But the one person that doesn't benefit out of any of this is me and my community. It's not really one person. I should say the group of people that don't benefit from it is me and my community because we don't care. Right? Like every single day, we come in here into DSP Gaming or onto the Kick channel, right? And we sit down and we relax and we have fun conversations about games, about life, about all kinds of stuff, correct? And we play games together and I give you my reactions to games. You guys, tremendous amount of interaction and help when I play games these days. And I love that. I love that community that we have built around gaming. It's a really nice thing, right? And we just have a great time together with it, right? But then whenever drama tries to rear its ugly head, and whenever drama tries to interject itself, it's like a guy runs in with a crowbar, you should wedge it in there, right? And like, well, it doesn't really fit into the formula. And this is the thing, like, if I 1,000,000% changed who I was on the internet, and I said, I'm going to be a drama guy now. All I'm going to do is react and do drama content constantly, right? Like many people do, and find tons of success on. Then this kind of stuff would benefit me. Because today, I'd be like, that's it. Today, all we're going to do is we're going to talk about last night, And all we're going to do is we're going to spend an entire day milking this and doing content on it and yelling and screaming and hollering and being upset.
But DSP doesn't care.
Too old for that shit. I'm 42 years old. I'm going to be 43.
I'm 42 years old, right? Guys. I'm old and decrepit.
What I do. When I hang out with you guys.
I can barely walk anymore, guys. I'm so old. Hell.
I don't like.
I'm riddled with arthritis, guys.
If anything, what has been the most successful content in the last 6 to 8 months that I've made?
Yeah,
think about it. It's been me having positive interactions with guys like Kino Casino, being on their show and having a great talk, a great interview, right? Shooting the shit, talking about other people drama, right? But not me. Us doing the co-op react on Rich. That was great content, right? Or what about the Keemstar interview, where everyone thought it was going to be drama, and it ended up being one of the best conversations I've probably ever had on the internet, right? It was actually genuinely a great time. I think that kind of content is where I shine and where I have value, all right?
Yoga Hoses came out of Canada.
But the other kind of content is
okay, the movie wasn't that bad.
Other people all benefit, but not me or my community. And the thing is, as much as I want everyone on this planet to have a good life and get by
and give me all your
happy,
money,
it shouldn't be at the expense of others. And that's a real problem here, all right? Because what people keep trying to pull me into in this situation, these situations, I should say, is drama that helps everybody else out, but then I end up being the one that gets stomped on, right? I'm the one that
I'm not the one who benefits, guys.
I'm the one who ends up taking the shot. And then it's like, well, here we go back again, right? Why are we
crying and
going
begging?
again?
We know.
This again. And so last night was absolutely positively not what I expected, all right? And I just want to preface this by saying I apologize to everyone out there. If I had known for a moment that that's what it was going to be.
The true seeker was going to seek the truth.
Right? I think everyone knows that. After the side-scrollers thing 2 years ago, I made it abundantly clear that I don't want any of this kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just
You don't want the truth coming out. We know.
I have no interest in it. I'm
no interest in truth,
I'm not at a part of my life where I feel like I have to answer to anyone, where I feel like I owe
Gotta
anyone
answer
anything.
The IRS.
Okay? I've done my time on the firing line for over a decade, right? And this is all shit that's been just tread over and over and over and over and over. It's like you got the dead horse, so you beat the dead horse, and the dead horse is even extra dead. But you keep beating the dead horse. So now the horse has become a big gelatinous pile of like gore because you beat it so bad. It's disgusting. But you keep beating the horse. So now the horse is like dust.
Stop threatening to murder your wife.
It's like, how long can you beat the horse? Right? It would be one thing if there was actually stuff to talk about in these drama communities about me that was like new or pertinent to something going on today. What happened last night was I go on a podcast expecting that it's going to be a certain kind of show. In fact, I read to you just the other day exactly what I was told it was going to be.
Nice
I guess I should reiterate, right, what I was told it was going to be, because I just want to clear the air here that, again, you know, this isn't something that I would have partaked in or participated in.
If I knew he was going to come in with receipts.
Let's see.
That's what got him so mad, that the guy had proof. 100% proof.
Here you go. Word for word.
I'm
going to read from the message that I originally received from Steve, the guy who performed the interview last night on the Truth Show. Okay. This is word for word what he said to me. Phil, I promise you a fun and cathartic interview, a journey through your history and highs and yes lows, but I'm going to be fair and highlight your survivor attitude and continued success despite all of your trolls and detractors. I watched every deep dive history about you. I think most of it is petty, but yes, some of it is funny. It's easy to laugh at someone from the sidelines. Most people have no idea what it took for you to survive the journey. That's the story I hope to tell in the interview. I just read you word for word the pitch, right? Does that sound like what we did last night? at all in any way,
It
shape, or
sounds like
form.
he lured you in because you're an
I
idiot
didn't
and
make
fell
that
for
up. I
it.
didn't write that myself. That doesn't even sound like how I speak, does it? That's word for word what I was told it was going to be, right? And so I go on this show. And by the way, for the record,
You're all banned. Fuck you. Oh,
I
yeah,
was
we know.
outright told this would be a 90-minute appearance. Okay, because I explained that, I have a schedule and I have to spend time with my wife. And, sadly, with that side scrollers interview, it was way too long. And, if
So
we
yeah,
keep it
he's the one who
concise,
dragged
it'd
it
be
out,
better.
though.
And I even pitched, I
By
said,
talking
hey,
in
listen to
circles.
this. If I show up on your show and we do this first interview for 90 minutes and it goes well, I would be happy to maybe make some return appearances as well. It doesn't have to be immediate, but, that would be kind of a cool thing. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
That's how it was pitched to me, word for word.
Bill
Okay?
Goble Burnell.
So, if you saw the show last night, that's absolutely not what happened at all. Okay? Here's what happened. Okay? I showed up and essentially we talked casually for like maybe 15 minutes about my history and my past.
And then he brought the truth.
Steve starts going into
the truth. How dare you go into
drama
the truth?
shit that Kiwi Farms and my detractors have hyper focused on, hint, hint, for the last 5 years. It's the stuff that they never move past. It's the stuff that no one cares about in my community. No one cares about it who watches me and likes me.
The IRS
The only people who care about it are people who want to make drama content and make money on it. That's it.
And it was amazing.
It doesn't affect me today. It has nothing to do with me today at all. I've moved past this stuff years ago. Okay? I did a 12-hour react. The June the King documentary back in
Your
August.
Honor, I moved on from murdering those children years ago.
This drama.
I don't care that you just found the bodies now. I moved on from that. You gotta let me go.
It's in the past. Today, who I am as a person
Murdering those children is in the past.
Not representative. Okay?
All those dead little kids is not representative of who I am today.
When I was financially distraught, when I was irresponsible, when I was stupid. I look back now at stuff that I said and did on a stream and my behavior with the way that I spent money, and I'm embarrassed because I was a dunce and because I was basically out of control in many different ways. Okay. But now things are different, right? If anything, if you haven't noticed, the last couple of years have been a wake-up call.
Stay away from rare tricks.
It's been a situation now where I've been able to change for the better. I feel like I'm making better content. I think more people like me now than previously did, because I used to actually just be 100% hated. And now, at the very least, I do have people who actually kind of get me now because they gave me a chance.
Actually kind of like me now, guys.
It's certainly not the biggest audience, but it's still an audience. Okay? And I'm happy with that.
It's a lie, but it's still an answer.
Right? Listen, I'm never going to be able to make up for the things that I did in the past. All I can do is be a better person moving forward in the future. Right? You can't change what's happening
for him to say that to a judge.
All you can say is, hey, sorry, let's move on. Okay?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Let's move on from all those dead kids.
Sadly, these people don't want that. You understand? They don't want to move on. They don't want to move to the future. They don't want to accept change. Instead, they go ahead and they say, let's just keep focusing on the past because that's what is drama and that's what gets us the views and that's what's going to get us attention so we can make bank.
Damn,
because the truth of the matter is, if these people weren't able to monetize their content, they wouldn't bother with it. I'm going to repeat what I just said. If these people weren't able to monetize their content, they wouldn't bother with it. They would move on to something else.
Not everyone's monetized. GTG's not monetized.
It's grift. It's grand grift.
GTG's not monetized.
To make the bag, right? By any means necessary. Doesn't matter who we hurt or who we trample on. And I think what
if we were hurting a person, we'd probably feel bad, but you're not a person, so we don't care.
You're
pig roach.
Okay? Really, over the years, I've become so resilient. Like, my story is a story of resiliency and a story of being a survivor, despite the fact that so
I will survive,
many
guys. I will survive.
At me, that I'm still here standing and I'm still making content and I'm still successful. That I think people think, you know what? Well, I can take my shot at Phil now. I'll make my bank and Phil still be here tomorrow, so it's all good. But it gets to the point where it feels like it's gone too far.
Is that resilient? He's a
and I think that last night was definitely that. Like, seriously. to give some perspective here, all right? There's a difference between I agreed
cross
to an interview.
arms. He's mad.
And I said we could do this and we could talk
so
about
mad.
this and we can have these topics and we can do this and that, right? There's a difference between
I
that,
say,
which
without
is
his
what the
fans
side
giving him
scrollers interview.
tens of thousands of dollars
what
every
happened
month, he'd
last
be
night.
fucked.
With the side scrollers interview, all right, they tried so hard to get me to fess up to stuff because they wanted to be popular and notable. At that point, they were not. There was nothing about that show that was getting any views. They were desperate. They were actually trying to get
They were
guests from all
not
over the internet. They
desperate.
were
What the
getting
fuck are you
YouTubers and
talking
stuff on the
about?
show, and no one cared. They weren't getting views. It wasn't working. So for me, they saw me as their big break, and their idea was to try to get me to essentially fess up to things like playing WWE champion, okay? And if they got that big confession on their podcast, then everyone was going to be talking about them, and they were going to use that to propel themselves to popularity and success on the internet. It didn't happen. So what ended up happening was they turned that into a way to milk my detractors for weeks to months on end, right? They had a series of shows
always made
all
more money
about
than you,
me or
DSP.
spin-off shows. Like, I'm totally sure they would have had an entire show about mobile gaming and addiction if I hadn't been on the show, right? It's obvious
Because
that's
you are
where all
addicted to
that
mobile
came
gaming.
from. And so it was pretty bad the way that they went about it. Like I said, initially I had no problem at all with the interview. It was everything that came after that I had problem with.
That they kept making
right?
money on
But
me,
that's
Reee,
on
me. How dare
I
they?
accepted it, right? That was my fault. In this case, what happened last night was not my fault. You heard, I read word for word what I was told.
It's not my fault.
Be,
I did nothing wrong.
And that is absolutely positively not what that show was.
It's not my fault. That was about
3 hours of
into gotcha total at least $250,000. $250,000, I mean.
You know? Because here's the thing.
At least $250,000, $250,000 on gotcha over the years.
The guy from True Secret Show set it up. Oh, I did all this research and I did all this, and here's what I discovered. Steve did not discover anything. Literally every single thing that he brought up was actually copy-pasted from Kiwi Farms. If anything, if you are someone who's on Kiwi Farms and you were involved with all of that stuff like 4 or 5 years ago, I'd be pretty pissed because he took credit for all of your shit. Like, he literally, line for line, see, I did this, I did this, I did this. No, he didn't. No, you didn't. That's other people's work that you stole, and you passed it off as your own.
Guys, the prosecutor didn't do any of the DNA testing. Some nerds in the lab did DNA testing. If I was one of those nerds in the lab, I'd be getting pretty pissed off at the prosecutor here saying that he got the DNA evidence. He didn't get any evidence. The lab nerds did all the work. DSP, what the fuck is wrong with you? Do you really think there's going to be a bunch of nerds in a lab coat you're sitting in the courtroom going, all right, well, first we loaded up the vials with the samples. Then we had to put in this chemical to help separate them. Then we put it into the machine. We had to wait 6 hours for the machines to separate the samples. No. Prosecutor's like, yes, we sent the DNA to the lab. Here's the lab results. They're not stealing the work of the DNA lab results, whatever. They're not stealing the nerds' work. The guys who work in those labs, they're not getting their work stolen, DSP. They did the work, they handed it to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor goes over it. Guys, he didn't do any work. He just took everyone else's work. Yeah, that's kind of how that works, DSP. He's like, huh, bank leaks and bankruptcy forms that people were sending me. I sent them bankruptcy forms. Every single one. Like, huh, people send me all this stuff, and I need to go over it and investigate it myself. Guy's such a jackass.
There was no originality there. He didn't do anything original in anything that he said. These are all accusations that have already been talked about.
And proven.
Okay? It's ridiculously stupid. All right? That he would even act like any of that was work. There was no work to be had.
Act like any of that was work.
Kiwi Farms and watching videos.
Where'd you get that, HP?
Copy-pasting stuff, okay? And literally absolutely nothing whatsoever was new. Was presented.
I say he brought receipts, DSP.
This is all stuff that's been out there for years and years and years. It's like, oh, I got you with this one. I got you with this. It's like, yeah, this has already been out there. I already even talked about this during the June the King documentary. Like, what are you talking about? No, I don't think you've ever talked about. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I mean, the stuff that's on Kiwi Farms, all right, gets put into my chat like hours after. Like, no lies. Like, what about when you got a haircut? Yeah, they were posting that in my chat. They were super chatting it like 5 years ago. So this is all old shit. It's so boring. See, that's
Your
ultimately the
Honor,
problem.
those dead
Is that it's
bodies you
just
found
so
was all
boring
old. I
because
killed
it's
them
nothing
years
interesting.
ago.
If it were interesting, then people would care. But my viewers don't care. They don't. No one wants
They
to hear
still give
about
me
this dumb
money.
shit.
That's all that
People are
matters as
coming
long as
here
they
to
give
hang
me
out and have a good time with games.
money.
No one's interested in this, at least in my community again, right? My community doesn't care about this stuff at all. All we want to do is hang out and have a good time playing games and all that stuff that he really was trying to take me to task for. Like, for example, oh, will you beg your viewers for money, right?
You do, constantly.
So literally every content creator who asks for contributions is a beggar. Fine, I guess you could spin it like that if you really want to. All right.
Let's say that being said. So I'm like, hey guys, don't forget our monthly goal this month is to get 150 bucks. If we hit that goal, then I'm gonna have Steve the Dead do something stupid on stream. Yay. And they do that at the beginning of every show. That's not begging. That's like, hey guys, we got this goal. And alright, then they drop it. Or, actually, because Kingsley never brings it up either. I'm trying to think of a detractor that actually brings it up, and I can't actually think of any detractor that's like, guys, if we don't reach a goal, I'm going to lose my house. Unlike DSP, who's said that numerous times. DSP has numerous times said he's going to lose the house, he's going to have to move, he's going to lose his business if you don't give him money. Can't think of a single detractor does that. Do you think PewDiePie sits there and guys, I'm not playing another round of Fortnite until you give me at least $150? Nah, that's Canadian. That doesn't count. I need $150 American, or I'm not going to play another round of Fortnite. Do you think if he did that, he'd still be as popular? No. But if he started to stream with, all right, guys, remember this month, half of everything we make goes to Make-A-Wish Foundation. And I've been doing, well, obviously, if you're PewDiePie, you probably did a few Make-A-Wish Foundation stuff. Wouldn't surprise me. Guys, I've already done 8 appearances over the past 6 months, and I really like working for him, and I want to help him out some more. So again, half of everything we make this month is going to Make-A-Wish Foundation. You know, if he mentioned that 3, maybe even 4 times in a 6-hour stream. He does a 6-hour stream of Fortnite. He mentions it once every hour of, hey guys, don't forget, half of everything we raise this month goes to Make-A-Wish Foundation. Again, that is not begging. But hitting stop recording. Alright guys, what the fuck? It's been 27 minutes since I last had any contributions. It was a $2 super chat. What got even worse was a $2 Canadian super chat. Guys, that's nothing. How am I supposed to pay my bills if you're only giving me a $2 super chat from Canada, guys? This is bullshit. Here I am playing the game, putting my neck on the line, literally, guys. My neck hurts so much, hint, hint. And you're not contributing. What the fuck? That is begging. I come on here and say, like, hey, guys, next month I'm donating my hair. I usually send a $20 check, but if you give me a $10 super chat, hey, I'll throw an extra $10 into it. Why not? That is not begging. Thank you, Ace Man. Glad you do. A lot of people say that.
But the difference between me today and me 5 years ago is that 5 years ago, I was in a really bad way. I was literally living stream to stream in some cases. That if I didn't have a good...
Yeah, I can't wait for my vacation. Because when I go on vacation, I'm going to donate my hair. Like I'm going to get it out of work. Stop at... what you call it? Great Clips. And then get my hair donated because they got the envelope for it and all that. Like, they got the envelopes and all that for the Wigs for Kids, so I can just get there, they do all the work, I tip them $5, then I take the envelope to the post office, they weigh it, tell me how much I owe, then I send it off. I'm gonna wait till I get out of work, do it, then I'm like 8 days later I show back up to work, and like, what the fuck happened to all your hair? What do you mean? Your hair's gone. It's always been gone. What the fuck are you talking about? I can't wait to fuck with them. Ooh, you donated blood? Yeah, I can't do needles.
Be able
I can't do
needles,
needles.
okay?
Ugh.
So I would say that on stream. Now, that's pretty bad. I look back now and I say, yeah, that's embarrassing. That's stupid. But that was the situation I was in. And I needed to do that to get by. Today, can I ask an honest question?
I had to beg, guys.
Right?
I had to beg.
Anyone who's watching me right now, at all, on my stream, on a restream, anywhere on the internet, watching this on demand, do you think I'm destitute? I'm sitting here in a room surrounded by expensive technology. I have a ridiculously expensive RGB display going off behind me on a wall covered in the most expensive soundproofing foam that you can probably buy because it's over-the-top Elgato branded. You know what I'm saying? I've got a freaking frame behind me that's playing animations. You know what I'm saying? Does a single one of you think that I'm destitute and that I desperately, desperately need you to contribute to me today?
You sure act like it, DSP. You sure act like it.
And that's actually what Steve was saying on the show. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This doesn't happen. No, you know, oh, we have evidence. Okay, present your evidence. You don't have any evidence. You have copy-paste Kiwi Farm stuff. That's all you have. The same shit everyone already knows and doesn't care about.
Your Honor, that's not evidence. This is photographs and still shots of the CCTV camera that caught me doing it. That's not evidence. That's just screenshots from the camera. DSP, what the Yes, DSP, screenshots from the CCTV camera where you got caught committing the crime is evidence. And all they did was show screenshots from my chat when I said and did this, guys. That's not evidence. It's just screenshots of me doing it. It's just video clips of me doing it. Yes, DSP, that is what evidence is. It is pictures or video of you doing shit. Oh my god, him trying to twist and retcon what evidence is insane. And sadly, some of his friends are going to believe it.
And whenever he would bring something up, I was like, do you have anything from today?
He's like he's going to lose his house.
Do you have anything to talk about today? Oh, what about the Arby's? What about it? We were joking that we should do Arby's. I want to do it right away. Let's do it on a day when my wife doesn't have to cook, right? But I'm not going to starve if I don't eat Arby's. Never said I was going to starve if I don't eat Arby's. Or if I did, it was a joke. No one's like, what are you talking about? You would actually have to be a moron to think that. So there's two answers in place. Either Steve's agenda was to present things that he stole from another site as his own, to act like he did work, to look like he's some kind of a big-brained guy, okay? So that he could present a case to make me look bad and try to put me into a bad situation so that he knows that he benefits no matter what, okay? Or the other scenario is he's a complete fucking moron. So which is it that he's a bad guy who tried to fool me into a situation, or he's a moron? It's one of the two. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just so stupid. So let's I guess we should address a few things directly, all right? So, you know, on this show, he's basically just presenting all this stuff about bank leaks and the bankruptcy and all of that. And I'm like, there's nothing new here. Like, there's nothing for me to answer. My answers aren't going to change. So he tried to present it to, oh, well, we're going to have you do a lie detector test, right? And if you do this lie detector test,
you refuse because you know you'll fail.
Prove your innocence. I said, no, it won't. What do you mean? Lie detectors aren't submissible as evidence for anything. They can be tricked. They can be fooled. There's been people who their name is Bill, and they sit down and they put on the lie detector test, and they say your first name, Bill, and it says they lied. Lie detector test doesn't mean anything at all. It's a waste of time for everyone.
It's not admissible in the court of law, but a lot of times when they say, hey, you're going to do a lie detector, no, I can't do a lie detector. All right, well, thank you for confirming that you're lying. The act of you refusing to do the lie detector is evidence enough that you are lying. If you weren't lying, why would you refuse? The fact that you immediately refuse shows that you are lying. Because if you weren't lying, or thought you could lie well enough you could fool it, you would accept it. Oh yeah, it could be that they go by William. Which again, lie detectors, that's why lie detectors aren't admissible in court. Because what if I don't go by Bill, I go by William, like, guy at work. Do not call him James, he goes by Jimmy. He is Jimmy. If you call him James, he's going to smack the shit out of you. Because he is not James, he is Jimmy. So if you were to ask him, is your name James? No. Well, it says he's telling the truth that his name's not James, but it says right on his birth certificate that his name's James. But he doesn't go by James. He goes by Jimmy. And he's going to smack the shit out of you for calling him James instead of Jimmy.
Everyone involved. What it is, it's a grand spectacle, right? It's a grand spectacle because everyone, oh, what's it going to say? It's good drama, right? But who's it drama for? It doesn't prove innocence. It doesn't prove guilt. But whatever happens, people are going to say drama, drama, drama. And that's all they care about, right? So who would benefit from that? The people who want to make drama content. My detractors, apparently Steve, not me, not anyone in my community. We don't care about this stuff, right? We don't. You guys don't care. So you're not here for this. We're here to chill. We're here to play games. We're going to have a good time together. And by the way, contributions are coming in, and you guys know I'm going to give you shout-outs, right? I just want to talk about this before we get to the shout-outs. I do want to have a good discussion with you guys about what happened last night. Before.
Yeah, dad's legally James, but goes by Jim.
I promise you that, okay? But you notice it was just, let's do a lie detector. Why? It proves nothing. It won't prove my innocence. It won't. The only one that helps is detractors and you. Okay? Will make it benefit me. Oh, so you want me to pay you to do it? Well, are you going to make it benefit me in any way? Like in life, do we all just walk around doing things that don't do anything for us? Is that what we do? Is that how we conduct ourselves? I was under the impression.
Gee, I don't know. I spend years growing my hair out, getting fancier shampoos, getting fancier conditioners, getting fancier hair brushes that cost more to take care of my hair so I can donate it. You know what I get out of it? Nothing. Well, except for a free haircut every 3 years. But you know what? A free haircut doesn't pay for all the shampoo and hair brushes and conditioners I go through over the years to help take care of the hair. Or when I volunteer like Ottawa Wildlife Refuge, just, now hey, it's springtime, got to go out and clear out the bluebird boxes, because mice and all that will fill them up. You got to get them clear before the birds come through. You know what to get out of that? A good walk out in nature. And get peace of mind. Like, not everything is about money, DSP. Not everyone's sole motivation is money, 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 money. Wow, so I would do a high-pitched voice.
That we are finite beings. We need to do things for survival. So in a day, what do you do? You get up and you eat. Why do you eat? Because you need to eat to survive. Now, how do you eat? Well, you have to do work to have money to buy the things you eat, right? So what I mean? Like sadly, we're slaves to this existence, that we have to do things for sustenance and safety and to live, right? So we just walk on, just do things just for the sake of doing them for no reason at all. You know, why would I
like? Or when like hanging up new bat boxes in the one barn that sadly burned down
ignoring all of my
3 years ago,
needs, right? So it's like,
before it burned down,
if you're going,
like, oh, hey, we got new bat boxes to hang up
that
can hold
you have
more
to
in
at least
them.
make it enticing. The problem with Steve is he didn't present anything enticing. He was just like, well, you better do it, because if you don't, you look guilty. Problem is, I've had people saying that I'm guilty of heinous things for over a decade. I don't care. Get it? Like, he barked up the wrong tree. Maybe he could have found someone else who would have cared. I'm the last person on earth to care about what people say about me at all. There was nothing there was presented as this will actually clear your name, this will actually help you at all. Because as I said on that show, every single time that something happens and I'm accused of something, okay, if I present evidence to say, hey, you're wrong, the goalpost is moved. It's another thing instead. Well, wait a minute, but we just said, oh, forget about that. Let's talk about this next thing. Wait, what do you mean? And actually, that's exactly what happened on the interview last night. The interview was a shit show. Why? Because Steve is probably the worst interviewer I've ever seen. He would present a case. Like, he'd say, so here's something you're accused of, right? And here's evidence of said thing, okay? I would say, all right, allow me to respond. And I'd start to respond, and then he'd yell over me. And then,
because you would talk in circles. You are known for going, all right, well, 17 years ago, I was working at that, like, we're asking you about the Arby's yesterday. We're asking you about the Arby's yesterday. Why are you bringing up 17 years ago you worked at a helicopter company? Why are you talking over me? You asked me a question I'm trying to answer. Now, 17 years ago when I was working at... We're not asking you about 17 years ago at the helicopter company. We're asking you about yesterday. What was it? February 10th, you said you needed money for groceries. Well, you see, 17 years... We don't care about 17 years ago. February 10th, you asked for money to buy groceries. True or false? Well, you gotta understand, 17 years ago... We don't care about 17 years ago. And that's the issue, DSP. And that's why he had a lot of other questions to ask you, but they never got time to ask them. Because, well, you gotta understand, 17 years ago, well, 17 years ago, well, 10 years ago when Evil AJ, well, 5 years ago when Tevin, well, 2 years ago when Duty Streams showed up and started making fun, like, we're not asking you about 2 years ago. We're 5, we're 10, we're 17. We're asking you about yesterday, or the 10th, or whatever. But you gotta understand, 17 years ago. We don't need to understand 17 years ago. We need to understand February 10th. Why were you asking for grocery money? You gotta understand, 17 years ago. And that is why he had so many other questions to ask you, never had time for. I was really hoping, although it was pretty late, so I guess that's one reason why, but maybe he'll do a part 2 where he has Broside Phil back on, maybe get Duty Streams on, get Kingsley T, get me, can you imagine he has 5 of us show up? I mean, come on, it's Discord. You can have as many people in the Discord chat as you want. Like, alright, we got 5 people here from Discord. We got Duty, we got King, we got GTG, we got James Lesser, we got someone else, trying to think off the top of my head. We got Bill Purnell. Like, we got a bunch of people here to talk about this today. We got some lore masters. We got some newer guys. We got older people that were around before Panda Lee was there. Oh, you get kind of sad, so I get some female intuition onto the show. Like, hopefully, I'd love for him to do something like that. Just get a bunch of us on there at once. Like, all right, well, we have 5 experts on here. Let's fucking go.
And then he'd move on to something else. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I didn't even get to do my initial response. You yelled over me so no one could hear what I was saying, and then you moved on to another topic. That's not an interview. An interview requires back and forth. An interview actually requires to have two sides coming together. You know what I'm saying? And that didn't happen. It was literally yelling and screaming. And that's not a good interview at all. All right? It's just a shouting match at someone because you want to get
Kevin, GTG,
and that's exactly what it was last night. 3 hours of how can I basically become the darling of Phil's detractors. Maybe if I just yell at Phil for 3 hours and present the same evidence that's been presented on Kiwi Farms for 3 hours, people will care. I don't know. Maybe that's what his strategy was. And as predictable, you know, as you would always expect, my detractor showed up and gave the guy about $1,000. You know, I think about $500 in super chats, and then he got a whole bunch of subs on Kick. So he probably made about $1,000.
I think it came out to about $1,019 was the final amount.
And he keeps making detractor content and milking. You know, he probably will make some more. Like, he could go the route that side scrollers did for a bit. All right, and he'll probably get a little bit of popularity and a little bit of notoriety. You know, doing that. But the problem is it doesn't last. It's fleeting. I mean, look what happened with side scrollers. They tried real hard, and then they failed. And then they had to completely change what their show was from the ground up. They're called side scrollers today, and they have nothing to do with side scrollers. It's literally a political show, a right-wing grifter show. It has nothing to do with their original concept. They lost their entire original cast. They all quit or moved on, and they retooled the show to be something completely different because their idea just didn't work. The grift of hating on DSP will never be
get his share of that
a full-time successful grift. Even for those who try to do it, they have to lie and make shit up. It doesn't work because it's old. It's old school news. You know what I'm saying? It's not something new or interesting or original, especially again.
That bump is long gone like a bump of cocaine.
If you come to my streams and you hang out, you have a good time, you have a laugh, you know that when I'm saying, hey, support my content, you know that if I'm being, let's hit the goal, come on, let's get some super chats, I got to eat Arby's tomorrow, you know it's all in good fun. Everyone knows this. No one's stupid, right? He actually said on the show last night, he goes, so what you're doing is you're fooling mentally deficient people into contributing. So the only people who contribute to me are mentally deficient, apparently. Not one of them has a brain in their head. He actually believes, he literally believes.
According to HOA, you're not allowed to run a business from the condo, but
bankruptcy
it's not a business, guys.
They have supported me. I mean, who's the crazier person here, right? You actually believe that someone actually gave me their entire life's fortune and they went into bankruptcy because of
Timbo Slice went into bankruptcy twice. Timbo Slice declared bankruptcy twice. And you've had people that were super chatting who were saying, all right, well, here's my last $10. I'm super chatting for my car outside the Starbucks because I'm homeless. God. Dude, you're never going to live down Timbo Slice declaring bankruptcy twice. Now, if Timbo Slice had kept his mouth shut and never admitted that he declared bankruptcy twice, maybe he'd be better off. But the fact that Timbo Slice came out and said, yeah, I declared bankruptcy twice to support him, you're fucked.
Of me? I mean, where do you even get this stuff? And how would you ever even corroborate that with you can't. Like, the stuff that you say is so ludicrous and stupid, right? Like, number one, like any content creator would ever know who it is that's contributing, what their life situation is, or why would it ever be a creator's responsibility to even know who's contributing or what, you know, it's not. You know, what I would say is
he's going with the Derek defense.
Okay. I would hope
he's going with the Derek defense of I didn't know that Derek was a PDF, even though everyone told me he was.
You and yours and your family is more important than sending me a contribution. I want you to understand that. All right. So as long as you understand that and you're willingly giving, I don't see what the problem is. I can't stop you from contributing. I don't know why you're contributing or what your situation is. It's up to you. And it always has been and it always will be. Why would I have to even say that, right? I don't know, but apparently you have to because somehow I'm responsible if people, I guess it's what they say, the pignosis, right? I'm some kind of a crazy mastermind who can fool all of you into contributing. Because it's funny when Steve says stuff like, I think you're a tremendously stupid person, but then also at the same time, I'm a mastermind who's fooling people on the internet to give me their money every day. So which is it, right? Like, what are you talking about, right? Anyway. It was a whole 2.5 hours of nothing. It really was. And the thing was, again, he tried every possible way to trap me, right? So first I go on there. He said it's going to be 90 minutes. He outright told me it would be 90 minutes. Then he said it would be 2 hours. Then we're going past 2 hours. And I'm like, well, you're going past the time that I said I was going to give you. Oh, so you're running, you're going to quit now, you're going to rage quit, you're going to... Wait, so now I'm trapped and I have to stick here and just take more abuse from you. Just because you say I quit. Funny. We already passed the agreed time, right? And if anything, there's a difference between, again, having a scheduled interview and we're you know, the side scrollers interview thing, that's on me. This interview was, the whole thing was a scam and a shit show from the beginning. He lied about the premise of what it was.
It was a scam, guys.
From the get-go. It was 100% a lie. He fooled me by saying it was one thing that it wasn't. He lied about the time frame. He lied about the content of how he was going to present it, right? Then he's trying to say, oh, this will benefit you if you do a lie detector test. Wouldn't, you know, every moment. And the other one final thing, because I don't want to talk about this all day, I really don't.
Yes,
is
you
that
do,
when I
because you don't
finally
want to play video
have a
games.
chance to give like an answer, right? I give my answer and then, oh, either rush to the next thing because you gave a good answer, or, well, let's find a way to just get rid of it. I'll give you the perfect example. Okay. They tried to say that I lied about talking to a police officer. Okay. Because what happened was at one point,
You
many
never
years
gave
ago,
the
I received a very
officer's
threatening
name,
email.
though.
Okay. It was pretty scary, actually. The email was that someone was threatening me and my family, saying that they were going to come here and murder me with a weapon. Okay. So after getting this email, I did contact the police and I actually publicly talked about it and said, this kind of thing should never happen. This is just scary, right? There's a difference between you don't like someone or you're going to murder them and their family. And I filed an actual, lawsuit, excuse me. I filed a police
Wow,
report.
grabbing his neck, guys. Guys, my neck hurts, don't
Talked
you
to them
know?
about it, filed a report,
Remember,
et
guys,
cetera,
my
et cetera,
neck hurts.
right?
Guys, don't you know
So
my
when I
neck
called, I
hurts?
spoke to a woman, all right? And this woman, who's all of her information I still have, okay? I had a conversation
Well,
with
you
her.
couldn't give any of it to
as an
Officer
aside,
Broside Phil, huh?
at that same time that I had gotten this threatening email, I was actually getting, no exaggeration, hundreds to thousands of dollars in chargebacks. If you remember, years ago, there were guys, what was his name, Tutankhamun, as well as others, who had been giving me lots of contributions, but then they were all attempting to, like, charge them back after the fact, okay? And it's one thing if it's like $20, it's another thing if it's thousands of dollars, and it's dozens upon dozens upon dozens of transactions, okay? So I said at that point to the officer, I said, this is a complete aside. It has nothing to do with me getting the email that's a threat, okay? What could we do in regards to this? Because I have all this evidence. I have all this transaction history of people sending me contributions, but then committing fraud after the fact, right? And I always file disputes in cases with PayPal, but they're not going to legally go after anyone unless it's like with their institution. Like for example, PayPal probably would never go after anyone. It would be a bank. Like, let's say if you lied to your bank and committed a chargeback, your bank would investigate you if you committed fraud, because that's a crime, okay? So I said to the officer, is there anything that I can do? Because these are literal crimes being committed against me. Every single time someone does a chargeback, it's fraud. And the officer said to me, there's absolutely no capacity in the local police to do anything like that. For us, when we come to things online, like cyber crimes and stuff like that, we deal with big picture stuff that's immediate, like child trafficking. Stuff like that is actually a big problem in this area of the country. So that's the kind of stuff we're dealing with on a daily basis. We wouldn't be able to help you at all with chargebacks. It's just something that's not in our capacity. We wouldn't do it. However, if you wanted to contact your local FBI, perhaps the FBI would actually do something about it. Okay? That's actually what I was told.
Yep, they only investigate child sex trafficking, guys. Nothing else.
So at one point, I probably told that story on a stream, publicly. Okay? I'm being accused that I lied.
They have never investigated anything other than child sex trafficking.
I had a conversation with this detective, and he said this and this, and I'm looking, and I'm like, I don't even know what this person's talking about. I never had that conversation. Like, it's never happened. So what I'm realizing is that basically it's all bullshit. Okay? Like, literally, it's bullshit. It's all made up. It's fabricated. It's a fake story. This person didn't talk to anyone. They didn't talk to any officer. I have the information sitting
Except they had your account information. They had the numbers there. They had everything.
Okay? So I'm thinking in my head, basically all of this could be fake.
They had everything.
Anything these people say or do is fake.
Broside Phil had everything.
Right? So what do they want?
Broside Phil, being a former cop, probably helped him out. Because, alright, some normie calls him up, says, hey, account information for this. Why the fuck would we give you that? But a former cop calls up, says, hey, I'm former officer, da-da-da, you can look it up. I was wondering about this. And that's why, if you watch the interview, he almost shit himself when Broside Phil's like, oh, here's the case number. Well, you mean, okay, yeah, that's the case number, but you mean you had to understand that, okay, yes, it's the case number, but, shut the fuck up. That's what I thought, DSP, that's what I thought. The second Broside Phil dropped, he has integrity, he has all the integrity. The second Broside Phil dropped the account number, or the case number, he was like, oh, shit. It was a woman. I talked to a woman. I didn't talk to a man. I talked to a woman. What was the woman's name? No, you can't have her name. Well, why can't we have her name? Because I said so. Also, using FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. It's like, well, according to DSP, he had 3 bank accounts hacked. Well, banks have to report that shit. If your bank account gets hacked like that, they have to report it to the police. By law. There's no police report. Well, it's not my fault they didn't do their job. Or, maybe, just maybe, it never fucking happened, DSP, and you're just using it as a lie. Yes, detractors have receipts. Where are yours, DSP? Detractors have receipts. You do not. You have... No, believe me. Who are you going to believe? Me or your lying eyes? I'll believe my eyes, DSP. Just saying.
What they want me to do? They want me to send them the information from the officer so they can contact the officer. And I'm thinking, but you already lied. You already concocted a fake story that can't be corroborated, right? Like, who can corroborate their story? Nobody. But that's okay. Their story doesn't ever have to be corroborated. Mine does, though, right? Because I'm the one being accused of stuff. So you made something up. You talked to someone who I've never spoken with and I've never had a dealing with. All right. I have the real evidence. But if I give you this,
yes, I had to lie to protect my family.
Evidence, you could completely lie again, right? 100%. And who's going to say that you did or didn't? Like, no one can prove it. This is all hearsay nonsense. It always is. That's the point. It always is nonsense. None of this matters. It's all he said, she said nonsense bullshit. You know? So
but
who
the
cares?
he
so
said part is
wait
you
I know
lying.
they're all lying because here's the evidence.
That we know you lie a lot.
My innocence. You can't. Because they'll just say it's a lie. And then what can you do? Right? And that's the problem with all this. And that's why I think nobody cares. Right? What? No matter what, everyone will just endlessly go in circles. Well, I have this. Well, I have this. Well, they don't corroborate. So who's the liar here? I don't know, and we can't prove it. So then what do we waste our time on this for? Right? And by the way, the idiotic things that they're saying have no bearing on anything and aren't crimes or anything like that, right? It certainly isn't like,
scam the IRS might be a crime.
He was selling drugs. He robbed a bank. You know what I mean? He had child pornography. He was grooming children. It's none of that. It's, he was irresponsible with his money. You're right. You know, I have been irresponsible with my money. I've talked about it numerous times.
Consumer fraud is a thing, DSP.
I told you guys,
consumer fraud.
Not me anymore, right? I'm in a better position now. I've learned. I've improved. So anyway, here's the deal. All right.
Here's the deal.
I got fooled.
Keep giving me money, guys.
That was a waste of time. All of my fans, as you know, you don't care. I know you don't, right? Because I'm talking directly to my fan base now. I know you don't care about any of this stuff at all. Okay, I know that. I don't care about any of this stuff. That's why I'm not wasting time on it. I'm talking about it on this podcast, and then we're moving on to play Street Fighter today. This is not the day where Phil talks about this all day. It's not going to be the week, the month. It's just nonsense. And again, it's the same nonsense over and over and over. Okay. So I'm going to say one thing to these idiots in chat. Why don't you just present your bank statements and this? I'm not going to show anyone my bank statements, you incredible fucking buffoon.
Because it would prove you lied.
That people could use to hurt me. Are you dumb? Why don't you show your bank statements to everyone right now? Just answer that. If there's nothing on a bank statement that could ever be used to hurt you, why don't you just show your bank statement right now on the internet to everyone? Post it up on your Twitter account, right? Because nothing could possibly be used to hurt you, right? What a dumb thing to say. And well, don't post it publicly. Just give it to Steve. To Steve, who is obviously working with detractors and benefits by lying to make you look bad so he can make more content and make money.
He's working with detractors, guys.
There's no neutral party. Get it? There is none. There's people who don't care, and then there's people who care because they financially benefit from me looking bad. Those are the two parties. There is literally no neutral party on the internet.
What about PPP?
There's no point to it, right? There's no crime. There's no investigation.
Doesn't
there's nothing
PPP
here. It's a
care about you still?
That they just keep bringing up. Again, notice it's nothing about today. It's nothing about yesterday. It's nothing about this year. It's nothing about this. You know, it's nonsense from 5+ years ago. That has nothing to do with modern day. It's just white noise to everything. Okay, so I don't care. I mean, what I said in the interview stands to today. I don't care about any of this. I'm not going to bother with it. It's all
give an earnings report on the company of Dow Jones.
Okay,
ooh.
And I just don't want
how much bullshit would be in on it.
With it. All right, now we do have to address the elephant in the room. All right, we do.
Your wife.
We all know that Steve. Where did he come from? How does he have notoriety? Well, because he's been on Kino Casino. And yes, it's absolutely 100% true that the guys from Kino Casino are the ones who put me in contact with Steve for this interview. Okay? So now the elephant in the room is, well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Does that mean?
Well, wait a minute. Why did you go on a truth seeker show and then get mad that he was seeking the truth? That's the best part about all this. Like, you went onto a show called Truth Seekers, then you got mad that he was seeking the truth. How dare he seek the truth, guys? Doesn't he know that seeking the truth hurts me? Reee, me? Then why did you agree to go on there? God, you're such an idiot, DSP. That's why we love pointing and laughing at you, because you're so fucking stupid. If you were smart, it wouldn't be so much fun. But you're such an idiot.
That the snaking has happened? Shit, I didn't have it open. Does that mean, let me do that again, that the snaking has finally happened? I should have had that ready, and I didn't. Well, let's talk, right? Shall we flesh this out? Well, first of all, is Ashton still in chat? Because he was here a minute ago. Ashton, are you still here? Because I've had a conversation with Ashton, all right? And if he's here, he can corroborate that this conversation happened rather than it just be me saying it. He can back me up here. Is he still in chat?
It was $9,000 in business expenses in July, dude.
Because all I'm going to do is I'm going to reiterate what we had the conversation about, and he'll confirm that the conversation was real. Okay? That's it. That's all I want to do. Not that it's just me saying it, and people say, oh, you made that up.
Do the NFL offseason mode.
Is he here?
Wait for March.
Did he take off? He was here before.
UFL.
That was a few minutes ago.
Go DC Defenders. DC Defenders play at Michigan Panthers up in Detroit this year.
Let me tell you the conversation I had with him, and if he's still here, I'm sure he'll pipe in here. Okay? So, what's up, Jade? How you doing, man? So, the conversation I had with him was, what the hell was that? That was obviously a train wreck, right? That's not what I was told this was going to be. at all. I mean, I just read you word for word what I was told it was going to be, and basically, this was set up, not necessarily set up, like basically, Steve reached out to me, because he heard of me from the casino and said he wanted to do the interview. And of course, I talked to Ashton about it previously and stuff. And he said, yeah, do the interview. It'll be good. And yada, yada, right? So I had the conversation with Ashton about this. And basically his response is thus, all right? Now, I'm not making this up or exaggerating. He's like, I had no idea that he was going to do that. I knew he was going to ask me questions.
Can't wait. Get us
I had
on the
absolutely
Jake
no
Bates.
clue that he was going to go to that extent and that he was going to actually have detractors on the show and that he was going to go that heavy in. And yes, that was absolutely a snaking and it went too far and he shouldn't have done it like that. And he basically kind of went rogue and it looks like he did it because he wanted to make some money. Okay? Well, there you go. Ashton just said it in chat. He's corroborating what I just said. He says, it's true, Steve went into business for himself and he lied to us. Year of the snake. Year of the snake. Well, obviously, we all know that this is a truthful statement. The year of the snake. Okay. So, I mean, there you have it. Now, obviously, truth is in the eye of the beholder. That's what they say, correct? That the truth
beer
is in the eye of the
holder,
beholder.
maybe.
That everyone has to make a judgment for themselves on the situation, okay? Personally, all right? Personally, I would tend to believe Ashton, and here's why. Here's why. Here's my rationale, right? We've got a good thing going. We got a good wrestling commentary show going that we both enjoy, right? We like working together, and we have plans in the future of stuff that we can do together that's productive, that both of our audiences like, that makes money. So why, in anyone's right mind, would something be set up to treat me like dirt intentionally? You know what I'm saying? That would
because
ruin
they
that
think it's funny.
If there's a good working relationship going.
You think Ashton doesn't find that funny as shit to do that to you?
WrestleMania. We're actually doing good. We actually had a great show this last week. We're looking forward to more moving forward. We have other ideas of stuff that we want to do together.
Steve showed up with receipts.
So why would you then
showed up with
that in the front?
Believe me, Reee, me. I did nothing wrong.
So it's this simple, all right? It's just this simple. You can believe whatever you want, and it's up to you to judge. For me, I tend to believe DPP. In the conversation that we had, I do think that this was Steve going into business for himself, going over the top, extreme, trying to grab that bag and running with it. And I guess we have to see what his actions will be moving forward. Like, is he actually going to continue to make detractor content about me and try to bank on it and try to make a buck? You know what I'm saying? He could. Like I said, that's copy. So not only in that case would he have been copy pasting Kiwi Farms for his entire interview and then taking credit for it, then he would also be copy pasting side scrollers and copying what Stuttering Craig did. So I mean, that's a double steal job right there. That's a double, complete lack of originality, right? So I guess we'll see what happens there with that. Will he do that or not? I don't know. I don't know the guy. This was my literally first.
Yeah, he does not understand that PPP is fucking with him, and I love it.
He went, according to PPP, he's gone into business for himself, right? He acted too strongly. It's one thing if you're going to have me on the show, you're going to ask me some questions, tough questions, but then, you're going to be fair. I think we can all believe that it wasn't fair, because it really wasn't an interview, right? It was a screaming match.
It was showing up
just
with receipts to prove you lied.
Yell at Phil Moore, move on to the next subject before Phil can even respond.
Kino Casino's PPP and Andy Worski over on Kick.
None of it made any sense from a logical standpoint. It was
and
just,
they have friends, unlike DSP.
With detractors, so they'll throw me some money. I'm pretty sure no one thought I was doing a lie detector. Right? Like, no one would ever going to think that I was going to do something like that. That's ludicrous. That's stupid. Why would I do that? Again, it doesn't prove.
Why'd I prove that I'm lying, guys?
Anyway, everyone knows that it's bullshit. So, I tend to err on. Well,
the act of denying taking a lie detector for me is proof enough that you're lying.
I look at a big picture situation, and
if you were telling the truth,
I
or felt you were enough of a good liar to
if you guys
pass it, you would accept it.
But I'm gonna go with what he said, and as they say, actions speak louder than words as well, right? It's that simple. So let's see what happens moving forward. But I'm gonna say, hey, this is stupid. This is bullshit.
Yes, actions speak louder than words, and the fact that you've done nothing to prove your innocence speaks way louder. If actions speak louder than words, then doing nothing is an act of silence. Just saying. Actions speak louder than words. You doing absolutely fucking nothing to prove your innocence is an act of silence.
Shit. It was nonsense. I don't care. It's not going to affect me long term. I know it's not. The problem is now, of course, everyone's going to be talking about it nonstop for weeks, how dumb it was, all the detractors will be having their 3-ring circus with it. And now it's just the same dog and pony show, right? For me, like, I've been there, done that, just I'm tired of it. I don't like having to go through it again. So I apologize to anyone. Here we go again. But at least in this case, I'm telling you, I have absolutely no way I would have agreed to anything.
You guys got to protect his cat and hip hop wife, dude.
I lied to, isn't that it happened? As opposed to last time, it was definitely my fault. I agreed to it. I even said that the interview was good and everything. And then after the fact, I got upset with their behavior later, right? As opposed to this time,
cranked up to 11.
Bullshit. So anyway, yeah. So like I said, all right, actions speak louder than words, correct? Right? And
yes,
so let's
you
see
do nothing as an act of silence.
But I tend to trust and believe, all right? Fair enough? So I have a zillion contributions to shout out. I guess we'll see. I haven't been looking at a single one. I don't even know how much we have any of them here. Let's just start shout. I'm sure I'm going to be answering your questions now during these contributions. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start on the kick side because I believe a couple of subs came in. So we had Hank 4720 who re-upped their sub or auto renewed, and that does count actually as a sub. So thank you for Hank. And then there were 2 subs that came from Movelt 99. Is that how you spell your name? Hold on a second. What am I doing? I'm so stupid. I could just zoom in. Yeah.
Wow. I just not realizing I could zoom in.
2 subs. So let's get those up on the leaderboard here. Okay. So that's 3. No, sub renewals always count on Kick because on Kick they actually are active contributions. On YouTube, they're not. On YouTube, they're passive and they can happen at any time. And you don't know if they apply to a stream. Like on YouTube, someone could have renewed their membership and then clicked their membership notice 29 days later. So you have no idea when that membership actually applies to anything.
But it's still money going to your pocket.
Okay. So thank you to Movelt.
Once again, he's hiding
the 2 subs,
money.
And that counts for 3 subs because we had the other one. Wait a minute. I put it in the wrong spot. Son of a bitch. My apologies. Let me fix that. Okay. Let's do the YouTube side contributions first. Okay, and then we'll get to tips. So we start off with, okay, we already shouted out Kenny D earlier. All right. Thirsty Tree did a $5 super chat. And Thirsty Tree says, I'm honestly surprised you stuck with Steve for that long. It was bad faith that whole stream. How was that an interview? Base Phil win. I mean, again, it wasn't an interview because it started as an interview, the first 20 so minutes. But as soon as he started getting into accusations and I'm like, all right, let me respond. And I would try. Because the answer wasn't what he wanted, he would just yell over me and then he would move on to something else. Right. I'm like, well, then if you're never going to let me talk, then it's not an interview. Why am I even on your stream? I remember he played a 2-minute clip. I was like, you don't have to play the clip. I'm responding already. I could just respond. No, he wants to play this whole clip. The whole thing felt very, very self-aggrandizing. Like, he felt like he was trying to get over. Like, call me a narcissist, but the whole thing felt very narcissistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just kept wanting to be the center of attention and talking. Look at all the work I did, and then he presents another thing he just copied off of Kiwi Farm. It's like... Anyway. Kenny D did a $7 Canadian super chat. I give you permission to use my money for DSP tries. It will...
I am a PhD student going for my PhD. I've compiled the work of these 12 people before me into one thing to prove that actually what we believe about smells is actually incorrect. And by using these 12 things to prove that, well, all you did was take other people's work and compile it together. You didn't do any work. 12 other people did. But if they take the time to take those 12 other people's works, combine it together to prove something that we didn't know beforehand, then they did the work. DSP, I get it. You're so fucking lazy, you wouldn't do that work. You'd be like, give me a PhD. What? Why? Because I showed up. I mean, yeah, I was late every single day. And I went home early, but I showed up at least half the time, so give me a PhD. Like, no.
Well, thank you. Kenny D, I appreciate that. But what is that in American?
Yeah, why isn't your wife in the room?
It's $4.94 American. I'll give you the solid. I'll say that's $5, okay? All right. Why do you keep tagging oh, it's Mavite? White. It's not Mavelt. I spelled his name. Funny as I blew it up and okay, did I spell it right now?
How about you wear your glasses so you can see the fucking screen?
Okay, I got it right this time. There you go. So thank you, Kenny. Princess Luna with a $15 super chat says, Steve gave bad vibes. He didn't let you speak. He kept thinking he had you for stuff. He doesn't even matter. He couldn't felt the king. Well, I mean, no, the thing was, he created a captive situation where if I left, oh, he rage quit. If I stayed, oh, well, just don't let him talk. So then what's the point? Like, literally, that could have been him doing a show without me on it. It would have been exactly the same show because he didn't actually let me contribute anything to it. Every time I tried, he would just talk over me and scream and then go on to something else. So then it's not an interview. It's just a show where you're going to yell at someone and say that they're a liar or whatever. So who cares, right?
Because you are a liar.
It's so different from detractor content, except I would never go on a detractor show. Daniel did a $2.79 Canadian super chat and says W Phil. So that's probably like the equivalent of like a $1.52. Thank you, Daniel. Let's see here. Thirsty Tree with another $5 super chat. Steve was seething. He had all this evidence against you, but you weren't biting or seething at all. You totally big dogged him based. What is big? I don't know what this lingo means. I'm too old. I don't understand the lingo of the youngsters. Did I big dog him? How did that take place? I don't know. Sin with a $5 super chat. Just ignore these people. Stop defending yourself. Enjoy your stream and your games. This gets old. It gives them more videos. But I know. I mean, and that's the point. Like, you have to understand that.
You're giving us more videos. It's not wrong.
Totally my fault. 100%. Well, that was a
I don't
bullheaded
know if Bro
decision
side
that I
was
agreed
streaming
to.
tonight. He
In
might
this case,
though.
I never agreed to this. This is something that I was lied to and deceived.
I was lied to, guys. They
now
lied to me.
I
How
gotta deal
dare
with
they?
it.
I'm the
Even
only
though
one
I
allowed to
said it's
lie.
on one podcast, right?
Protect
And
my
then we
family.
move on. So, thankfully, that's the case. I'm not going to keep talking about this. It's just stupid. But I'm 100% in agreement with you. I know this is not the content you want. I know this is, you want me to play games and chill and have fun with games with you. That's the point. Or, do other stuff too. It's not just about games, but you understand it's meaningful use of your time. As opposed to, let's talk about 5-year-old outdated
meaningful
shit
use of your time, guys.
for half a decade, and no one gives two fucks about.
All right,
Detractors
Valentine's
content
Day,
to make
so
money.
yeah.
So,
He's probably got plans like I do later.
We'll never, oh my God, we'll never be over until we know how much money donos went to WWE champs. We know you spent over $100K. It's so obvious the bank leaks are real. Stop lying. Barky, thank you for $5, you idiot. Thanks for your money, dummy. I mean, he actually sent me $5 to say that. He said absolutely nothing new. It's the same stuff everyone else is saying. Okay. All right. Well, now we got some tips to get through. Let's see.
He is positive, guys. So positive. Can't you tell?
Okay. My apologies. Number one, my shoulder hurts. And number two, my laptop has already been giving me problems recently with tips, trying to read these things. So the first tip here is a $1.19 tip. This is just like side scrollers. Makes me so mad. These people say one thing to you and completely go off topic. He did all the research for what? We're still with you, Phil. But no, I disagree. All right. I want people to understand the difference and the impression. I still to this day, all right, even though I do feel like the side scrollers interview was an attempt at a setup and to get what they wanted out of it, I agreed to it. After the interview, I said it was a good one, correct? That's the difference here. If you want to fault the side scrollers for bad behavior, fault them for the fact that after their interview, they literally turned their show into the Dump on Dark Side Phil show to milk my detractors for profits because they couldn't get any profits out of my appearance just otherwise because I didn't give them anything.
They made more money than you did.
No confession that they were looking for anything like that, okay? The problem was the after-the-fact behavior. With Steve's situation, literally, the interview was the lie. Get it? The interview was the lie. That is the problem. That the whole premise of the thing was a lie, and then he acted like he did. Okay? So, absolutely, I take the blame for the side scrollers in it. Not them. They should be criticized for their behavior after the fact, but not for the interview. Okay? In this case, it was the interview that was the problem because it wasn't an interview. All right?
DSP has all these problems, but they're never his fault, even though he's the only common connection to any of them.
Let's see here. I received a $2 tip. You are liked by some, hated by some, but you always get a reaction. I think you should lean into that as a larger-than-life persona that people always want to give attention to, like a soap opera or a wrestling character. I don't think you are being ingenuine by doing that. Okay? I mean, again, the thing is, if you haven't noticed as of late, right, we're having a really good time in my content, and the reason is because I am self-aware.
Gin is clear and whiskey isn't.
What people say about me. What was the first thing that I said on the show today? Let's get some contributions. Right after a 3-hour accusatory show where someone yelled at me for asking for contributions. I just did it again anyway because I don't care, right? I don't care about these fucking people. So that's what I mean. When I'm sitting here and I'm saying, let's get some contributions, let's hit the goal, let's eat Arby's today. People know that doesn't mean that I'm destitute and I needed to pay a bill today or I need to go buy Arby's. It's different. Maybe 5 years ago you did think that, but now not anymore because I'm not saying that anymore.
Not as drunk as he always is, Luis. He's always drunk.
On that interview last night that's what Steve was saying. He was saying, "Oh, you still do that."
Say if he spent even 10 minutes sober in his life.
Happy that I'm doing good. Look at the improvements because I'm doing good. Let's keep me doing good going so we can continue to have that fun and level of improvement, right? People keep saying, take more time off to be with your wife. All right, if I keep doing well, I can do that. I'm going to do that this week. I'm going to take an extra day off because you guys have allowed me to through your support. Thank you for that. No, really. Thank you. That's awesome. So what is the problem? The thing is, there is none. There never was. Okay. Continue. Shoot, I missed. I missed here.
Wait,
I received a $30 anonymous tip. This person says, here's $30 for discount Kylo Ren's spreadsheet. Keep on keeping up, Phil. Or keep on keeping on, Phil. Well, thank you. No, but no, hold on. That wasn't his spreadsheet. That's a Kiwi Farm spreadsheet. Oh, wait. You thought that was his spreadsheet? No, he took that right off of Kiwi Farms. That's what I mean. Like, you guys don't realize he didn't do any work. Like, everything that he did, he stole off Kiwi Farms. That spreadsheet has been on Kiwi Farms for 5 years. And he's like, well, don't you see the spreadsheet corroborates with the call? Yeah, because someone on Kiwi Farms listened to the call that was recorded and made a spreadsheet out of it. What are you talking about? Like, what is that evidence of anything? Like, anyway.
Guys, those spreadsheets of all that information isn't real.
$30. Thank you, anonymous.
He didn't do it, so it doesn't count.
Let's keep going.
He didn't personally commit a felony, so it doesn't count, guys. He didn't commit a felony, so it doesn't count.
So, I received a $5 tip. I'm a fan from your first interview that you did with Kino Casino, and now I much prefer your gaming content rather than dipping toes into drama. Did the interview with Side Scrollers, and you reacted to your own documentary. You talked to Josh Moon, you even talked to that other guy. He's probably talking about Keemstar. You have nothing left to answer for. If anyone wants to talk about that stuff again, point them to your content about it and be done with it. I'm sorry that Steve snaked you. I'm now going to unsub from him. God bless. Listen, you have the right to watch or not watch whatever you want, and I'm certainly not asking anyone to unsub from anyone. That's your own call.
That is such a LARPer right there.
The eye of the beholder. So you do what you want, and thank you for much money, yet still living paycheck to paycheck. I don't think you understand what living paycheck to paycheck means, okay? And I don't think you understand what the term savings mean, all right? Savings implies that someone has like a savings account that they're funneling money into that they don't touch and that accumulates over time. Or maybe they have investments, say, in some kind of a market that's kind of safe. And so therefore it's considered money that's being saved for a future date or a project or if something bad happens, correct? Living paycheck to paycheck implies that basically you need to make money immediately because if you don't have money to do basic things day to day, okay? So here's the deal. I don't have savings. I don't right now. I want to. Like I told you, that's my plan now is to try to actually start to...
During the bank leaks, he had like $16 in his bank account, or 47. It was a very comical amount of like, if I ever had that little in my bank account, yeah, you're never gonna see me again because I'm too busy Minecrafting myself. Get a weighted vest, kayak as deep into the lake as possible, then eat a bullet, sink to the bottom, never see me again. If I had $16 to my name, that's what I'm doing. Like, you're never gonna see me again. Now, DSP, guys, I don't need savings. Savings for losers. Why are you hoarding money?
Save money and have savings again for the first time in 100 years, okay? So I don't have that yet. I want to work on that. At the same time, I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. I'm making enough between YouTube and that, right? Never did I say, let's hit the goal because I need the money right now to buy the Arby's. That's not the case. Nor did I say that. People made that up, okay? So I'm somewhere in the middle. Fair enough. I'm not paycheck to paycheck, but I don't have savings.
But totally
I would
different,
like
guys.
to get to the point where
my
I have
crying
the
and begging
savings,
is different.
and that's what I'm working on now. Now that I've upgraded the setup to the point where I don't really need to sink a lot of money into it anymore, that's the next thing is maybe I could start saving money up.
I wear glasses.
Okay?
Gotta wear glasses. I'm blind as shit.
Okay.
Found the emoji.
So I got a $1.79 tip. Someone says, my name is Philvester Stollerwone. Oh, Lord. From a passive detractor, credit where it's due. Both the Craig and the Steve interviews were tough. You stood your ground. I respect that. And you do put on a fun show. P.S. I want to get some blood samples from you. Can I send you my blood sample guy to start taking? That's another one. Remember I said I'm going to install the rotating door on the front of my house? So that'll be next. So we'll have the lie detector.
I want to go to New York City eventually.
Sample. We'll have someone take pictures of my whole house and try to account for every piece of things that I have in here and how much it's worth. Why not, right? Let's keep going. What's next?
I say, because New York City has some amazing museums I want to go to.
For those who are kind of slow on the uptake, that's a joke. It's not for real. I'm not welcoming anyone into my home. I live in a private community.
He's got plenty of money, but by the sending money, he's going to be broke.
Arrested, just so you know. Let's see here. What an idiot. Someone tipping and lying, saying that I said that Side Scrollers is not successful and they have a failing podcast. I never said that. I said Side Scrollers was not successful. They did have a failing podcast. Their podcast did completely fail. They had to basically let go of all the staff that they were working with, and then the show completely changed and became a political show, which is now successful because they grift to idiotic people who like extremist right-wing thoughts.
Wait. They had to grift to the idiots? And then you say right-wingers? Wow, DSP. Way to be all, well, if you vote Republican, you're an idiot. That's why you give them money, because if you vote Republican, you're an idiot. Really, DSP? That's the stance you want to take? That if someone votes Republican, they're a right-wing idiot? That's the only reason why they give anyone money? Because they're right-wing idiots? Wow, DSP. Tell me how you really feel.
Their side-scrollers has nothing to do with side-scrolling. The name of the show is about video games, and the show has nothing to do with video games. It's a right-wing grifter show now. That's why it's popular, because right now, right-wing politics are in vogue. So...
Heroes Restaurant.
Yeah.
Could always check that
I never
out.
said that they're not successful now. I said they were a failure before, which they absolutely were. Go take a look at their views and everything. The most viewed show they ever had was the one I was on. And then they could never top that. They could never get that back until they became right-wing grifters. It's just a fact. You can't even dispute it.
It's a fact, guys. It's a fact,
Okay. I got a $2.22 tip. Am I going to bring back DS Politics? Not right now. I may eventually.
Never.
You know, I like to leave the door
DS
open.
Politics
I like to have
dead.
ideas. You know, I do feel like I kind of screwed up because I should have done it at a different time. I should have waited.
You should have done it during the election, jackass, not after, you fucking moron.
And I kind of killed the momentum that it would have had. You know, people now, if I do DS Politics again, people will be like, well, he already did it, right? I mean, let's be honest. The Politics show here was only getting, you know, $60 a stream. You know, people were sitting there not even responding during the show. They were watching, but they weren't even saying a word in the chat. It was dead. People didn't really care. Since I'm not an extremist dude, since I'm not going to be all the way to the right or all the way to the left, the Politics show doesn't work. I'd have to go extreme one way for it to work because that's basically how it works. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what I'm saying, guys?
People only want to hear the most extreme dramatic shit. They don't want to hear rational thought. They think rational thought is boring.
You said food banks were idiots for asking for different food. They should be happy when if I show up with 10 turkeys, they should be happy to have 10 turkeys. But if they already have 30 turkeys and they only have 10 ovens, so they only cook 10 turkeys, those other turkeys are going to waste. So yes, make sure you call ahead of time. Be like, hey, what do you actually need? Well, a lot of people are donating mac and cheese, but no one's donating the milk and butter you needed to make mac and cheese. So if you could show up with butter and milk, that'd be great. Well, how many boxes of mac and cheese do you currently have? We have this many boxes. All right, well, let's see. So each box needs this much butter and this much milk. They have this many boxes. So they need 6 gallons of milk and 8 sticks of butter. Or, oh yeah, we have plenty of mac and cheese. We got the butter and the milk. We got plenty of turkeys. We have plenty of green bean casserole. What we would like is some mashed potatoes. So you can show up with bags of potatoes. That'd be great. Nope, not DSP. DSP take was, they're fucking morons for saying that you should call ahead of time and then bring in diverse foods. Fuck diverse foods. You should be happy that I showed up with 30 turkeys. Except they don't need 30 fucking turkeys. They have 10 ovens, so they need 10 turkeys. And then they need everything else. Jackass. Or yeah, donate plates, napkins, plastic forks, spoons, knives. Donate trash bags. Like, going to throw all this stuff, they're going to have plenty of trash. Donate trash bags. But yes, call ahead of time. If you no, especially around Thanksgiving when they're going to be flooded with people showing up to contribute stuff, call ahead of time. Be like, hey, what do you actually need? Like, I can get you potatoes. I can get you mac and cheese with milk and butter. I can bring you green bean casseroles. I can bring you yams. What do you actually need? Well, we have plenty of food. People have been very generous this year. If you could, bring us desserts. You know what? Everyone likes a slice of pumpkin pie. So if you could, bring us pumpkin pie. You know, it's that time of the year. People want to eat well, and after eating well, maybe they want to have a dessert. So bring pumpkin pie if you can. Well, how many pumpkin pies would you need? Well, we usually do this many people a year. That's how many people we had last year. That's how many people we had the year before. So enough for one slice each. Each pie is 8 slices. So you can bring us, if you can, obviously, bring us 20 pies. That'd be enough for everyone that we usually get. If you can't afford that, that's okay. Bring up whatever you can afford. Maybe call your friends, be like, hey, they want pumpkin pie because they have plenty of other food. I can only donate 4. They want a minimum of 20. How many can you donate? Oh, shit, I mean, if you can donate 4, I guess I'll donate 4. Oh, hey, I called my cousin and they said they can bring 4 too. Like, all of a sudden, oh, they ended up with 22 pies. Congratulations, they ended up with 22 pies because you called ahead of time, asking them what they needed. And they said they had plenty of food, but the desserts would be something nice for the year. Having desserts to go with all the food would be great. A great way to uplift spirits, great way to uplift morale, is to have plenty of pumpkin pie. And so you did that. Or, you can be DSP like, I brought you turkeys. Sir, we literally have ate more turkeys than we could possibly cook. We don't need any more turkeys. Why are you being so ungrateful? I brought you turkeys. But we don't need any more turkeys, sir. We literally have more turkeys than we can cook. A lot of these turkeys are going to go to waste. Like, we've called it all around to the other food banks. No, but in Detroit, over in Cleveland, like, hey, do you need turkeys? And they all said the same thing. All people have brought us fucking turkeys. If you know that fucking turkey, I'm going to blow my brains out. I do not need any more turkeys. If someone could bring us something other than turkeys, that'd be great. But you can be DSP like, nah, I brought them more turkeys and they are ungrateful for it, so they're assholes. RGB plates are on sale. Holla holla. Ah, neg, no, we're not turning on the ovens.
I received a $5 tip from Mars Inhabitant. Shouldn't you have a sixth sense by now when walking into an e-interview ambush? Shit, I almost overflowed my cup there. Like that and say thank you for your time. I know what this is and bow out and not waste hours of your life instead of worrying about the optics of leaving suddenly to your trolls and sticking around for hours on end. Yeah, but here's the thing, Mars Inhabitant, right? Was it a complete waste of my time? Yes, it was. Absolutely.
RGB turkey is even better.
Number one, nothing new was said whatsoever. It was literally a copy-paste regurgitation, okay, of everything that's already been said on Kiwi Farms to a T. Not even like I said, 100% stolen, nothing original whatsoever. I've seen the chart. I've heard the but to me, what really does it really matter? Like, I wasn't going to be putting on a stream that then was going to get views and support if I just quit the show, right? So, listen, I said I would do it. I did it. If anything, let's be honest, right? There were 3 people on that show, all right? One guy was screaming at the top of his lungs, losing his control of his voice, acting like a weirdo, okay?
Yes,
just
we
regurgitating other people's work, saying it was his, acting like he had done research he didn't do, outright lying to his audience, okay?
He had so much sent to him. He had so much sent to him. And thankfully, his wife apparently works for banks in the fraud department. So he was able to go to his wife like, hey, honey, according to DSP, blah, 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 here's the numbers I was sent. What do you think? And she went over him like, oh, yeah, he's a lying sack of shit. He is such a lying sack of shit. So you know what? Well, he didn't do the research. His wife did. His wife got research for that, not him. So it doesn't count, guys.
And basically was not conducting an interview. It was a screaming match. The second person on the show was someone who claimed to be a former retired cop, all right, but operates a detractor channel on YouTube and openly admitted on the show publicly that they gave money to another detractor by the name of Super Crazy to file a frivolous lawsuit against me that never would have gone anywhere because there's no legal case there, but he was so stupid he gave the guy money anyway. Okay? And then there was me, the guy who was supposed to be getting interviewed, trying to actually respond in a rational, calm manner and couldn't get 2 words in edgewise. Who looked better out of the 3 of us?
Roadside Phil.
Now, I don't think I'm going to get anything out of that, okay? But because I act rationally and calm, because I came out as the sane person on the call, I'm the only one who really stands to benefit when it comes from a logical perspective. Okay, financially, Steve won. Detractor-wise, Broside Phil won because he's the first detractor who actually had a direct conversation with me, right? But when it actually comes to intelligent people, I'm the one
who didn't know he was going to be hosed.
Because I didn't
look
like a nut
I didn't give any money because I was like, I don't think this is going to be a thing that happens.
The moment he starts talking about...
I was hoping it would happen, but you never know.
Leaks or whatever. I'm out of here. All you would have heard was, Phil rage quit, Phil left, Phil this, which is stupid, right? So it's all good. It's not a big. It really isn't a big deal. If anything,
it's all
now
good in the gated
I think you understand that I'm probably not doing interviews anymore, right? Like, I mean, there's a point till you get to it. It's like, what's the point? You know. Again, this was actually the first time I was fooled because, like I said, the last time I agreed to.
Oop, he's mad.
I got myself into
Cross
that arena,
arms.
so the person to blame is me. In this case, it was absolutely 100% disingenuous lies that got me into this situation. And again, I'm taking Ashton at his word here. of what he's saying, that this was not planned, and they definitely didn't think that this was going to
It was
happen or
totally
go this
planned.
way.
Ashton is laughing
That
his
wasn't the
ass off
original
at
plan
this.
whatsoever. They thought it was going to be like a real interview and didn't know it was going to be an attack session with detractors and the like. So, So there you go. Michael with a $1.25 tip says, I remember during the interview, I asked you for the name. Wait, what? I remember during the interview, he asked you for the name of the barber shop who cuts your hair. What are you talking about?
They asked you the name of the barber who's cutting your hair, jackass.
Huh?
Holy shit, did you already forget that? Holy fuck, Jin's a hell of a
Thanks for the
drug.
$1 tip. I have no idea what that means at all. Very confused.
They asked you for the name of the person who cuts your hair.
I can't really read it to understand what he's saying. I don't know if he's asking, did I answer? Did he answer? Did who answer? I have no idea. I can't read it. It's not English. I received a $4.98
It is English. You're a fucking moron. Amazing, who's translate what Jade says, but someone says that, and I don't know what they mean, guy. I don't know what it means. Yes, you do. Shut the fuck up.
Let's see. In my opinion, you should stop having interviews where your past is the main focus. Everything has been talked about to death at this point. There's no reason to keep having the same mindless conversation. All of us who support you have heard this a million times, and we don't care. Me, for example, I just came back from home, and I watched the podcast to relax, and I may donate from time to time because I enjoy your show, not because I feel bad because of your financial situation. Yesterday's interview benefited no one. This guy acted like he exposed the world's biggest scammer when all he did was represent all the things that your detractors have been talking about for close to a decade now. Completely worthless show, in my opinion. If you have any more appearances on other shows in the future, you should be a part of the show like you did with the casino during the election, not be on a show that your past is the main focus once again. Everyone knows about it by now, and people that support you don't care. They do. 100% in agreement. I want to be able to be a part of discussions that aren't about me. Can I be very honest with everyone?
Me, Reee,
I don't really think I'm that interesting. Right? I don't. I just don't think I'm the most interesting dude. Right? I make gaming content. I hang out with a small audience. We have a good time. They support me. It works, but I don't really think that I'm that big of a deal. Like, I would love to go and be on a show where we talk about various topics that have nothing to do with me, but I can maybe weigh in, whether it's current events, whether it is politics, whether it's pop culture, whether it's, whatever it may be. Maybe, a show about, I don't know, talking about, like, for example,
you leave the house maybe once a week.
How woke culture is failing now because they went so far to the left that the entire world went right, But it doesn't always have to be about that. That could be an interesting topic. Like, for example, when I was doing the politics show, what was one of the most popular things I did? I criticized the Snow White trailer from Disney. Or I called out the Black Lives Matter activist on her bullshit. That was the stuff that people liked about the show. It wasn't me necessarily covering stories. It was me talking about moments that could be interesting and I can weigh in on in a good way, right? Like, I think those are the kind of things that can work, right? But I'm not saying that that's necessarily the end-all be-all either. You know what I'm saying? I have a tremendous amount of knowledge on video games. I have a tremendous amount of knowledge on being a creator. I'm working on YouTube, right? Like, I've been doing this for 16 years. Can you name another person who's been doing it for 16 years and been through as many iterations, trials, tribulations, changes, and things that I have? But does anyone ever ask me about it?
That's you're an
literally that was the preface
dumbass.
of the interview yesterday. What I read earlier, that's what Steve said it was going to be. And I was like, oh, that could be a really interesting interview. Talk about how surviving on YouTube, how you can do it, and what I went through and all those things. You know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted. So, yeah, that'd be great to be able to chime in on those topics. I could talk about Street Fighter, the history of fighting games, the grassroots community coming up in it, what it was like back in the day. I am an untapped source of knowledge, but every time someone wants to talk about me, they want to do the easy thing.
Because there's
they
no
want
knowledge.
to say, hey, let's talk about drama from 5 to 10 years ago. Act like it happens today to milk it for money from your brain dead detractors. That's it. Like, every person does this now. It's like, it's such a waste of time, right? For everyone.
Because you're absolutely fucking worthless. They don't care about your opinion on anything.
That's the kind of stuff I would like to do, right? I don't want to be doing interviews about me anymore. There's no point. There is just no fucking point. Okay. Let's see here.
I say, hard to get to all that when you spent 10 minutes trying to answer a single question that's yes or no.
Subject, or a few thoughts on the subject.
This is a yes or no question. Okay. Well, you gotta understand, 17 years ago,
hate and giving a platform for this kind of hateful community, in my opinion, is a worse outcome than you becoming irrelevant and phasing into obscureness. This hate community, which maybe is growing, is creating more hatred in society, and it's a symptom of the times. The sick shit they have on their channels daily, talking about you, how you should die, bad things happening to your family. I mean, that's actively psychotic behavior, and this shit is enabled by internet, which is known to give edge to anonymous trolls and also actual monetization of this kind of crap. Yeah. I mean, I literally
DSP sending emails to himself again.
To counter anything you just said. You know, should YouTube allow monetization of hate? Of course not, but they do, unless you sue.
Coming
Like
from
I
the
said,
king of
if
hate.
I hit the lotto, like let's say I hit the lotto and I was, I had hundreds of millions of dollars.
The
I could
king
shut
of
down
hate,
channels,
guys,
but does it
bitching
really
about hate on YouTube.
a normal person can't do that. There should be no monetization of hate content on YouTube, period. This should have been ended many years ago, but it wasn't. And because of that, you now have an entire culture of people who just think it's okay to wish others harm so that, and then you make bank on it. It's pretty fucked, in my opinion. It really is.
Tell me how you really
I
feel,
received a
DSP.
$5
Tell me
tip.
how you really feel.
The interest in lolcow culture is about self-discovery and denial of the depravity of the culture we built together. One saying goes, beware of fighting monsters lest you become one. You could argue that people hating you are reflecting on the hateful nature of our own society and our inability to reform ourselves to be better or to do better.
Holy shit, all these emails are from him.
And the sacrificial lamb to wash ourselves from our
How
own
do these people
inadequacy.
talk just like he does?
There you go. I mean, I'm one. I've never understood lolcow culture because I don't care about it. I don't like it. Like, for example, can we be honest? Like, who were the original lolcows before there were internet lolcows? Reality TV celebrities, right? The people who were on The Real World, okay? The guys on Jackass.
Yeah,
Kardashians,
Jackass.
for God's sakes. Right?
And CKY.
And that weird reality TV culture then perpetuated that other people wanted to put themselves out there as celebrity stars, but they didn't have the avenue to do it on TV, so they started doing it on the internet. But then what happens is when you put yourself in the spotlight, you can then deride those people and make jokes of them and make fun of them and turn them into lolcows, right? But I just don't care about that.
Say $250,000 in gotcha games, guys. It's out of context.
You're never going to see me on lolcow live, right? Having my chest shaved, having pick up trash, drink piss water out of a bottle, being buried alive, going to a Democratic rally wearing a MAGA hat. You're never going to see me pulling stunts, right? I don't care about that stuff.
As he wears vests and hats and
living
glasses
and banking on that, right?
and
I'm just trying to make the best of it. For me, I don't care. I'm far above it. I want to make meaningful content for intelligent people. It's just hard to find some. You know what I'm saying? It sure seems to me like in our modern world, in this modern internet, pretty hard to find people with brains that function properly. There's a lot more people who just want to be stupid. And
Bam Margera.
I guess you can't really help that. That's just a symptom of society.
After
right?
Ryan Dunn died, like he was,
and that's what's happening. People just sit on the internet all day and want to dump on these people. Dump. For what? You're right. It is a symptom of the society. The society's degraded.
Yeah, bubble blowing, chair spins,
acceptable behavior in our
eating
culture.
Skittles
it's
that he never
really
ate.
Bizarre. It really is. Okay. A few more tips here. I think we had super chats too, right? I haven't checked the kick. So Big Larry Gaming did a $2 tip. He says, I've been really into Balatro lately. Which was your favorite deck? Mine's the abandoned deck. All the face cards are out of it. And then you buy jokers that reward for not using face cards. Hope you enjoy the game. Man, I'm trying to remember. I had a deck that was really unique. Because you're right. It wasn't like playing normally, like you were chasing different. What was it? Was it the flush deck or the straight? I think it was the flush deck where basically because of the way I was playing, all you cared about was flushes. That felt completely different than when I was playing for pairs or three of a kind or straights and stuff like that. But honestly, I haven't played the game in a while now, so I can't really remember.
He's in a low cow, but he doesn't want to admit it.
I really would. I'm dying to play it. I really
so much
do
that
like
he's seen as a low cow.
Then I can play it again, right? Okay.
I shouldn't be seen as a low cow, guys. I should be seen as a great American hero.
You remember?
I saved America from losing to Japan.
And you yelled, banned. I never had a Nazi hat. I had what was supposed to be a replica military hat. It doesn't have any Nazi stuff on it whatsoever. All right, it doesn't. Some people have photoshopped it on there, but it doesn't have any Nazi stuff on it at all.
It's supposed to be a dictator hat.
I don't know why,
and it's a Nazi hat.
You think that would be representative of.
If you Google, if you go on Amazon, look up Nazi hat. Guess what the second hat that pops up is? Here's a hint. It's the hat that he owns. You go on Amazon, you look up Nazi hat. That hat pops up second. Amazing how it's not a Nazi hat. It's not a Nazi hat. Just because when you search Nazi hat on Amazon, it's the second thing that pops up. But it's not a Nazi hat, guys. It just happens to pop up as the second one you look at when you search Nazi hats on Amazon. Total coincidence, though.
Nazis. They didn't ban anything. They did way worse than that. But no, I'm not going to be wearing the hat or doing anything. Okay. I received a $2 tip. The myth of DSP has become bigger than the man. You have become a legend, albeit a controversial one. People are engaging with your mythos, not you. I'm serious. Your online persona is something that lives a separate life and people interact with your projection. I know. But the thing is, I don't create the projection. The detractors do. They have created this persona. And then people jump into it and obsess about it. But then some people will come to the stream and be like, Wait, what? Like, some people actually believe the other day, I was begging people for money saying I need this to afford Arby's for dinner.
It shows up as number one now? Oh, thank you,
Luis. They believe
Luis.
that. They actually think that's what happened. Because the detractors will say, Phil begged for money for Arby's 42 times during the stream. Even though that's not what happened. If you watch the stream in context, you very much know that's not what happened. But that's what they'll say, so that's the mythos. That's the character they've created, right? So thank you for the $2 tip. These are actually quite insightful things that a couple people have been saying in these tips, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right. I know this is a long podcast, but as you guys know, I shout out all the contributions, and I appreciate every one of you who has been supporting here, so thank you for that. Back to the YouTube side, and then we'll check tip, okay? On the YouTube side, excuse me. Oh, we've got, I guess, 2 members actually joined today. Dixie Wrecked, what a nice name. Stand at attention for Dixie Wrecked. Became a member, so thank you for a membership there. Get that on the leaderboard. It's a great one.
Guys, I'm going to do a Tanya, the Saga of Tanya the Evil cosplay. I need a Nazi hat to wear.
Okay, John M. with a $2 super chat says, keep kicking butt. Thank you to John M. Well, I intend to. Okay. I hope I can get my master.
Phone now shows up as number 4.
Shortly, right? We're getting close to actually playing.
It's not the 4th hat that shows up when you search Nazi hat.
Oh, my YouTube chat crashed a half an hour ago. Interesting. I actually literally haven't seen a thing that people said on YouTube in a half an hour because I was trying out all the tips. I just refreshed it right now.
Way to pay attention there, DSP.
Good to see you, Jane. Can you pick the new Mai today in a blue outfit? Yeah, maybe. We'll definitely do the new outfit because we just wore the classic last time, and I'll see what colors there are. Sure. What's up, Cyrax? How you doing, man? When's the next Black Ops stream? I don't know. I think I tentatively set it for Monday. I think I have it as Monday's day stream.
I've got to hold his shoulder, guys. Guys, remember his shoulder hurts.
Depends on a lot of factors.
Guys, don't forget his shoulder hurts. Guys, his shoulder.
Okay. Let's see here. Sin did a whole bunch of super chats. First, a $2 super chat. I know you need Arby's money. Here you go. Then did another $2 super chat. The average IQ of a detractor is 40. I did a study. Then another super chat. Every dollar makes detractors cry and seethe-worthy. There you go.
Look up on the website, not the app. Probably why it's different for me.
Lil Spider Ninja became a member, and that is a legit new membership as well.
Shoulder hurts from the chip he carries on it.
Appreciate that.
So the fact that it's still top 5 when you search Nazi hat on Amazon. Not a Nazi hat.
Well, again, here's the thing.
Why does it show up so quickly when you search Nazi hat on Amazon?
Was I really supposed to believe that? Number one, am I supposed to believe that he's really an ex-cop? Even if he's an ex-cop, why does that make him reputable? The best part about that conversation, right, was that I said, hey,
it may have been
here's the real person that I talked to at the department. It was a woman, not who you're talking about. And he goes, well, give me the information. I'll call them and talk. And I said, but what's to stop them from lying? Oh, well, you just don't understand how truthful and reputable cops are. What? What? Are you insane? Like, just think about it this way. Right now, if someone were to call me and said, hey, I had a random conversation with you 5 years ago. Do you remember what you said? I would say one of two things. I would say, no, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Or I would be like, oh, yeah, I totally remember. And I would bullshit, right? There's no way that I would randomly remember a 5-year-old conversation that I had with anyone, to be frank with you, unless it was like a super important conversation, you know, and especially if it's a situation where, for example, what you said could actually get you into trouble.
But he couldn't remember the numbers on his bankruptcy form. You think the numbers on his bankruptcy form might be a little important to him. And yet, according to him, he had no idea what those numbers were. He's never seen them before in his life. Doesn't know where they're getting them from. They're the numbers on your bankruptcy form. Yeah, really don't remember anything on your bankruptcy form, huh, DSP?
If it were publicly relayed that you actually said that. So, do you really believe that someone is going to just, oh yeah, someone called me and said 5 years ago, you said this, did you say it? Well, let me think. If I admit that I said it, I'll get in trouble. If I lie, or I say I don't remember, I'll be in the clear. But I'm a cop, so I absolutely have to do the thing that'll get me into trouble. Get the fuck out of here. Were you born yesterday? I know you were if you believe that shit. Human nature is self-preservation. A human is going to do what they need to do to survive and get by 99% of the time.
Definitely crying there.
Very rare cases. Definitely crying. Maybe do the thing for the other person. A person who did a one-off conversation with someone who they don't know, have no obligation to, no ties to, no honor to. You know what I'm saying? They're going to say, what the hell are you talking about? Right? What in the holy hell are you talking about?
Terrible, Greg.
That was the most stupid thing I'd ever heard anyone say. Oh, just because they're a cop, they're absolutely going to tell me and be true. That was what a moron. Anyway. I don't know what else you're talking about, detractors are sad. Like, I don't know specifically what you're referencing that you think that Bro Side Phil lied about, because I don't know Bro Side Phil. I don't know what content he makes. Like, I literally mean that. I don't know my detractors at all. The few that I've had dealing with, like, Duty streams, I literally only knew about Duty streams maybe 1 or 2 streams before when I started talking about him in the summer. If you didn't notice, I don't really care about him now. I don't watch what he does or anything. I don't give a shit about these people, you know?
Oh, start on your fingers. He's lying. As a tell, one of his many tells that he's lying.
Keep going. We got tips coming in.
On his fingers.
And then I got to check Kick. I haven't checked Kick in a while. Another tip has come in. So I guess this podcast is going to keep going. Let's see here. I got a $1.25 tip from Walrus Nipples. When he asked you about bank leaks and wants to know where you get your haircut, I was like, what the fuck? If you told him where you get your haircut, your trolls would harass them. No, that's absolutely true. 1,000,000%. That's what you got to understand is, and I've learned this over
curls
time,
and twirls shut down, so he's not going there anymore.
Crazy unhinged that they will do anything they possibly can, even if it makes no sense, okay? If I mention a random business that I visited today, they would probably contact the business. To what end? I don't know, but they would. I'm serious. Like, to this day, they do insane, over-the-top, inexplicable things that are just not rational, but they do them anyway. So anything that I mention on a stream, a place I've been,
now a
person I've talked to, a business that I've visited or frequented or put money into, they will do something to harass them. Do you get it? So there's no way that I would ever mention where I go or what I do, right? Why would I put that on anyone? When I say that my detractors are a black cloud that follow me around, that's a literal statement. Like, anywhere I go, anything I say and do, if I tell you about it, the detractors follow like a black cloud behind me and go there and rain on it. I have relatives who have nothing to do with me who have been harassed. I have friends from my past who I don't mention who have been harassed.
You mentioned Rambo.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys have no clue. I don't talk about it because when you give attention to that behavior, it propagates more of that behavior. You guys, of all the stories that I have told you over the years, you probably know about 30% of the stuff that's happened to me and my family.
But it's not his fault, Lord DSP. DSP said so himself.
There's 2/3 of the stuff that's so extreme and so stupid that I would never mention it to you because I wouldn't want people to have that happen.
Bullshit. When your mailbox was full from all the magazines you were getting, you were, oh my god, I gotta check the mail every day because you're getting all this mail in my mailbox, guys. It's the worst. You're gonna tell us that you were using your mailbox having mail in it for pity bucks, but you're not gonna mention, they harassed my cousin Melissa. Keemstar kept trying to get an interview with her. Keemstar got a hold of my cousin Melissa to get an interview with her, guys. It was the worst thing ever in her life. You really think you're not gonna bitch about that? Bull fucking shit. If Melissa ever had that issue with Keemstar trying to get an interview with her, we would have heard about it.
And to them. I wouldn't even want to let you guys know what my detractors have done because I don't want other people to get ideas of things they can do to other people. You understand? Okay, let's keep going. Wow. I got to do another currency conversion. Mulciber. Okay. This is British pounds.
British pounds, all right.
So Mulciber did a 15-pound, 27 pence tip, which is the equivalent of $19.22. Excuse me. And let's do an animation. And let's add that, and let's see what Mulciber has to say.
British, guys. British.
6. So this would have been 165. Shit. I can't type today either. I really can't. All right. So, and by the way, we technically hit the goal, but let's read Mulciber's message first and respond to it, and then we'll celebrate. Okay. Thank you guys for your support this morning. However, I will say this. All right. We're having a good podcast. It's a nice decompression. You notice how calm I am? We're just having a nice decompression. This is the opposite of the side scroller situation. Oh, camera's, I just my camera on. I'm actually not even upset at all anymore. Like I said, I've been to this rodeo. I know how it goes. I just don't care. To be honest, I would have much rather just had a normal podcast today and then got into Street Fighter. As you see, it's taking us forever to get to Street Fighter, and there's nothing I can do about that. I have to keep addressing contributions. I have to keep shouting them out. You know, we have to do this. It's what's fair is fair, right?
He has to, guys. Those gun tests had. If he doesn't, he'll be shot.
Content. But as you can see, this is the funny thing.
These tips that sound like him,
don't you make bad?
Yeah, they're fake.
Well, I'm hitting my goal for the stream, my normal goal that I would have hit anyway, I guess. But you see what I mean? Did people rush to my stream today with pity bucks and open their wallets and flood me with thousands of dollars of contributions? No. Do you want to know why? Because people only flood you with contributions when there's drama. if I was sitting here, okay, actually like being nasty to someone,
you missed the goal yesterday.
But that's not who I am.
Through an entire stream, you missed the goal.
On someone right now, doing a drama.
Playing Call of Duty yesterday for the entire 5-hour plus stream, you got $74. You're not even done with the podcast. You've already hit the goal. People are showing up and they're giving you money.
A stream, hating on someone. What a scumbag. What this, that. I'd be making way more money, but I don't want to do that at all. When this shit happens, when people treat me like crap, I don't get flooded in pity box and attention. You know, it doesn't benefit.
He says as he gets flooded with pity box and attention.
Oh, you should have been grateful you went on that show. It gave you more attention. No, I'm not grateful. It was a waste of my time. It really was. It was a huge waste of my time. And I could have been doing better, more productive stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not making bank on this at all. It's definitely a big misfire, miscalculation. If anyone thinks that this kind of toxic stuff ever benefits me, it doesn't. Myself and my community have had enough of it, and we just want to be left alone. We really do. So, yeah. Anyway, so Mulciber says, let me get this straight. The dude took notes that you buy at a certain shop or cut your hair at a certain barber with info that's public from your own streams. He used that nugget of truth to embellish a spreadsheet with tons of financial data and a shitload of false info in order to force a response from you. They used that info that was already public in a podcast in order to render credibility to their own theories. Next time someone asks you about your finances, politely ask them for 1 year of finances in a spreadsheet in return so you both can compare, just so you're both on equal terms. I can't believe the audacity and arrogance you must have to believe you're entitled to know or question someone's finances. It's none of your business, sir. Yeah, this is just the funniest part about it, all right? In a nutshell, everyone clip this one, all right? Seriously, what I'm about to say, this should be a clip taken out of this podcast, if anything, all right? But what time are we at? 2.5 hours, and we're still going. Jesus. Well, actually, no, the podcast
Stall. He doesn't want to be Mr. Stall.
So this is the clip you should take out of this, right? I'm being told it would be unreasonable to expect
Dude, Rare Tricks ain't in my community anymore. So he doesn't matter anymore, Benny. He doesn't matter.
The days that I got a haircut, the day that I ate a certain kind of food, the day that I did this, did that, spent this, spent that, somehow fabricated a fake call sounding like it's a bank saying all of this, and that someone would transfer that data into a spreadsheet and this would be incriminating. I'm supposed to believe that that's ridiculous to think that that would be fabricated, okay? That's going too far. Who the hell would do that, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, someone created a search engine called PigPigGo that literally searches every piece of content I've ever done for keywords. So literally right now, you could say, how many times did he ever say the word snort? And it'll tell you, the specific videos and timestamps. Do you believe me? No? You think that's ludicrous? That's insane that someone would do that? It's real. You can go find it right now.
PigPigCo.Reee is awesome.
Move on to the next one. 2 years ago, someone was working at Comcast, my internet service provider, okay? And they were actually going into my modem without my permission, and they were changing all the settings, turning on my wireless network, public for my neighbors to see, and naming the network things like Phil is a pig, his wife is fat and a slob, Phil is a pedophile, Phil does this, Phil does that. So all my neighbors are seeing this in my neighborhood, okay? Then they would reset my modem repeatedly during streams so I couldn't stream and make money. And before you say, that's ridiculous, no one would ever do that, that's not believable, it happened, it's documented, the person posted it on Kiwi Farms and admitted to it fully, okay? We can keep going. Want to keep going? There was a couple in Europe who were actually creating a catfishing ring. They were creating fake social media accounts, pretending like they were escorts that were going all over the world. And what they were doing was creating these fabricated stories based on...
The reason the escort saga worked was because he was flying a woman in and out. He was paying for a woman to fly in and out. But it wasn't an escort, it was Cat from Michigan. If he had been flying Cat in and out from Michigan at the exact same time, escort saga never would have worked. But because he was doing that at the exact same time, it worked. Until, not DSP, but detractors discovered it and shut it down. Once again, detractors saved his ass, not himself. He did no work to save himself. Detractors had to do the work.
On what I was saying on my streams. So while I was actually having a nice weekend with my now wife, saying, oh, my wife made me some brownies this weekend. Well, then I said, my girlfriend made me some brownies this weekend. They would actually say, oh, I made Phil the brownies, and here's the recipe, and here's the evidence that I was at Phil's house. And then they would make this giant network of fake social network stuff up and all of that. And you might say, well, wait a minute, that's bullshit. Oh, no, it happened. It's all been proven. I was actually some of my detractors on Kiwi Farms who found it out and found the whole thing and basically exposed them to the internet. Their whole plot was they were eventually going to blackmail me for money to get them to shut up. And they never got to that point because I was ignoring them. Like, they were actually trying to contact me and I was ignoring their messages. So they never got to extorting me. Okay. But you want to keep going? Okay, let's keep going. Keep clipping this. So I had a moderator. All right. Their name was Marle, M-A-R-L-E. They said that they were a woman all right? And that they had a job and they had a life and they befriended my community. They were a watcher of my content for about 8 months to a year. They were a very positive person in my community who was nice and interacted with everyone on my streams constantly in a very positive way. They befriended so many people
that only part that matters.
that then they offered to become a moderator, and I made them a moderator, okay? They then were a moderator for over a year, or around a year, I want to say, okay? They literally spent, I'm not kidding you, thousands of hours talking with my other moderators and community members, building a fake persona up of who they were and all of this. It was all a lie. It was actually a detractor of mine catfishing everyone, because their master plan was that one day they were going to set up commands with my bots on Twitch that they were all going to say racist terms. So basically, I would go on stream and my bot would start saying the N-word and everything, and this would get me permanently banned from Twitch. And the only way that we caught it is that one of my other moderators had access to my bot and saw that all the commands had been changed overnight, alerted me to it, and we were able to change all the commands back before that was put into effect, and the person got banned and removed from the community, and then they exposed who they really were. Okay? So if you're wondering why I'm saying all of this stuff, it's because the idea that someone would fabricate a fake phone call, would create all this information based off of things I've already said publicly, create fake transactions in there, and then make a spreadsheet off of it, actually isn't as far-fetched as most of the stuff I just told you.
He doesn't need a bot to say the N-word. He does it on his own.
And is actually factually documented on the internet right now.
Well, the Twitch partner program,
why would you not believe the next thing? But that's the problem. There's no money in that.
It was good.
There's
How's
no
it going?
money in believing that people are constantly lying about Dark Side Phil. The money is in that all of it is true, so we can make fun of Phil constantly and say he's an awful person and make this toxic content that's all defamatory and bullshit, but monetize it so we can make bank. So that's why Steve did what he did, because he wanted to make bank and make a quick paycheck. That's
over
$1,000.
There's
no money in debunking. There's money in saying someone's awful. So there you go. Okay. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, we hit the...
Yeah, mute that. We don't need to hear that. That's fucking annoying as hell. Most likely, they were a fan, and then he did something that pissed him off, like he did to a lot of his fans. And now, guys, they were doing this for 6 years. Like, or 5 years ago, they were a fan. And then after being a fan for so long, you did something to piss them off, and now they're no longer a fan. Much more likely, just saying. Okay, looks like he's done.
The podcast is already too long, but maybe I'll do it on Sunday. I owe you a snack, because every time we hit a goal, I'm going to do one of the snacks out of the Turkish box. But when we hit 20, it's DSP Tries It, Shamrock Shake at McDonald's, plus more. So I'll be doing more food, like whatever that meal is, the Angel, whatever the fuck meal it is. I'll probably try that, plus the Shamrock Shake. So that's coming at 20. And our idea for when we hit 50 goals is to do a marathon of 5 Nights at Freddy's games that I don't like. So I have to really immerse myself into the 5 Nights at Freddy's universe and lore to really understand it. But I'm also going to be drinking during the time, so good luck playing.
You're not going to do that. You're going to hate it every single fucking second of it.
This next upcoming marathon, that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah,
okay?
so coming on.
So thank you.
We got me to 12. What happens when not
we hit $300 on the stream, we'll get to 13 and we'll keep going. That's the beauty of this system, is that you're always contributing and counting towards the next goal. It doesn't, end because you hit the goal. We can keep going and get the rewards even sooner. Okay? Cool. Thank you for that. Let's continue. We got more to do. All right? I received a $5 tip from Big Papa Phil. I think we can all agree that, one, none of these idiots actually care about clearing your name. They only want to pump out as much content about you as possible. I will absolutely agree with that.
He's not going to wear a costume.
That was the biggest joke about
He's done with wearing costumes and shit. He's not going to do that ever again.
We just wanted to do what's best for you. No.
Except for maybe Halloween.
Best for you. That's why you were planning on this to be your big breakout moment where you would get attention for yourselves and be able to do content based on drama, and it didn't work. So then you had to milk it for months, slandering me and shit. Like, you did what was best for you, not for me. If it was what was for best for me, your actions would have been very, very different after the fact. So you're a liar. None of these people care about me. They care about themselves, okay? Number two, you can do every single thing asked of you, and the detractor universe would keep going. These people have monetized hating on DSP. You cannot win with these people because they need the hate DSP meme to continue on forever. You're right. It doesn't matter what I say or do. They don't care. They move the goalpost. Even in cases that, like, for example, if you really had your bank account compromised, right? Well, then your bank should have filed a police report. Well, I don't know if they did or not because I never looked for that. But I did have my bank account compromised. I do have a different bank account now. Completely separate, completely different kind of bank account too. And I had to go through all these hoops to get that set up. It put me into big financial problems where I owed money to my tax attorney because he had to basically do all this work to fix issues with the IRS because I couldn't pay them because I didn't have money because my money was all on hold. Okay? But
did nothing wrong, guys. You did everything correct, as always.
So what do you want me to do about that? Do I work for the bank? Was I, how is that evidence of anything? So someone else didn't do their job, but somehow that's evidence that I'm lying? Like, what are you talking about? Even when I present, here's the evidence. I actually have the name of the officer involved, right? But how would that be evidence of anything? Because
but
they
you
could
never
just lie
provided
about
the
it
name
and
of
say
the
they
officer.
called
You
an
never
officer, said
provided
this
their
and that.
name.
So none of it means anything. They don't care about
You
proving
never
anything.
provided
Right.
the name,
They just care about making
jackass.
more content. They wanted me to send them documents, so now they can make more content with the documents. It's all it is. They want content, 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 money, 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 greed, overwhelming greed. What's more greedy? Me saying to you guys, let's hit the goals and have some fun. Let's have a fun marathon. Let's eat some Arby's and be silly about eating a burger, and I'll make funny faces when I do it, and you'll get a good laugh out of it. Is that worse? Or is it worse to say, let's completely lie and defame and slander and destroy the reputation of someone on the internet while we're ranking in thousands of dollars a day doing it? I would think that one might be slightly more harmful than the other. Maybe that's because I have a logical thinking brain. Okay. Let's see. I got a $2 tip.
Officer Jenna, gonna show up and save the day.
Getting real tired of detractors, especially the ones in your chat saying how they're not jealous of you, but when I go into their detractor discords on a burner, the majority of the time they're crying how you make money playing games, and they work jobs that they hate, or how their gaming channel is so much better, but it's not fair that their channel failed. Sorry if this was too long. No, that was not too long at all. Oh, I know.
Bullshit.
And by the way, the funny part about it is, some of them...
I'm in several detractor discords. I've not seen that from anyone. No one has said that in any of the detractor discords I'm in. I mean, yeah, I've asked people bitch about work, like, oh yeah, I had to be at work, we had to go to a meeting, and the meeting should have been a fucking email. I can read all this information in 5 minutes. Why do I gotta sit there on a conference call for an hour? Why do I gotta sit there for an hour on a fucking conference call? Send me an email, you can send all the same information. Well, we got $83 million versus last year, da da da. It's like, okay, put that in an email. I can read it and I can be done. Oh yeah, this is definitely another one of those donations you wrote
like,
himself.
well, I work 2 jobs, I work 3 jobs, and I bust my ass, and blah, blah. Yeah, so you're jealous. So you're jealous that I get to sit here all day entertaining people, having a good time, and I get paid for it, doing what I love, and you have to sit at your miserable job that you hate to make a living. I get it. You're jealous. That's why you hate me, right? That's why.
But I don't hate my job.
I get it.
But then I mean, honestly, no one likes work, but...
They want to say one thing, do another. They want to say, oh, I never admit that. You know, they're full of crap. Okay. I received another 15-pound, 27 pence tip, which we did the math on, and it was $19. That's right. So it's another $19 tip from Mulciber. Now we're at 191. 191. Yes. Play another animation here. Sorry, guys, that I'm not on top of the animations and everything today. A lot to tackle here. Thanks, Mulciber. He says, as a viewer and a supporter, trust me, I know someone that I tip, be it you or any other streamer, are not going to open a hospital for children with my 20 bucks. In fact, I'm happy to hear that you had a nice hefty meal that made you happy. One of our oldest and forgotten traditions is to share food and drink. Because I can't send it directly to you, money is the next best thing. So on behalf of a supporter, as long as you don't do bad things with it, enjoy. I hope that this helps you to pump out more.
Yeah, as I say, you can't retire. He's going to do this till the
the most
day he
worried people about
dies.
your finances are the people that never contribute to your finances. In nature, you have scroungers. On the internet, you have detractors.
He's never going to retire. He's
and the people who complain about my content. How many people said, we don't like DSP tries it, change it to something different? So I did. And what happened? The views plummeted and nobody cared because they wanted DSP tries it. That's the point. How's my neck feeling now? It hurts, but it's not as bad. It is feeling a little better. So I guess whatever I did to wrench it,
how's it going?
A bit, but it does hurt. Okay. So thank you, Mulciber. Let's keep going. I still have more to shout out. Let's see here. Dollar Tipper says, the dude interviewing you yesterday had 100 super chats after the interview, so I'm guessing he made an easy 500, maybe 1,000. That's probably, he probably made about it.
It was $1,019.
You gotta understand that it's not just that. There were probably memberships. He's also on Kick. There were probably, There were probably Kick subs as well, right? It was probably everything. It was like the whole 9 yards, right? So I'm sure he made a cool grand, which is probably the most the guy's ever made in any of his content. Just like Side Scrollers, where they made all that money. And then they lied about it and said they made like nothing. And then a year later, you got Craig crying about it, saying he wants to donate it to charity. It's like, gee, pathetic. Anyway, got a $2
Donating to charity is pathetic, guys. Thank you, DSP, for saying that. Donating to charity is pathetic.
On a lighter note, I've left you an email. If I can buy Monster Hunter Wilds for you, let me know if you're interested. You did? Let's see. Let's see if I got it.
Up went to my spam folder. Send it again.
Yes. I did get it, and I will respond. Thank you for the email, whoever that was. $2 tipper. I got the email, and I will respond. We'll take a look at it. Okay? Cool. That was a $2 tip. Dude, I need to get to I need to get to YouTube and I need to get to Kick for more shout outs, but I can't even get out of my tips. My tips are continuing here. I got a $1 tip. Definitely a lot of haters think shitty of you because their circumstances are so much less than yours. Be happy you're more successful than most of the haters. Guys, again, if you want to really talk about what the story is, it's the turnaround. I went from rags to riches to going bankrupt to now being good again. What a roller coaster ride my life has been. It's been up and down since I've been a content creator. That's the story, right? Like I've been on both ends here of the experience, and it's pretty wild that I'm still here. And now today things have turned around the way that they have, and I have people who like me and have my back. And here's the other funny part about all of this too. The big detractor shtick is that Phil only has like 4 people who support him. Really? What about this morning? Right? Do you see maybe more than 4 people around today supporting me? Just saying, because it's not true. The narrative is there are some big people that support in big ways, but they're not here every day, and they're not the person who 100%, support me. It's people who come from all walks of life. That people come from all
walks of
places
life,
all around
guys.
the world,
All walks of life.
and they all watch me for different reasons. Some people like the
they're all
podcast. Some
dense.
people just like hanging out with me no matter what I do. Some people like certain games. Some people like this or like that, and they come and they contribute to what they like. It's not 2 people doing it. It's ridiculous. Not everyone is OIC or ICS or whatever. Iron Twisted Kai hasn't been around since Sunday, right? And to be honest, with the way that Ashton felted him on Smart Guys on Tuesday night, I don't know if he'll ever come back because that was a pretty bad felting that he got. To be honest here, okay? But yeah, like that's what I mean.
Amazing PPP can chase away one of your biggest whales. And you're all, isn't that
Iron
funny?
Twisted Kai wasn't around.
PPP
right?
chased away one of my biggest
Empire
whales, guys. I'm not upset.
There were no ginormous
I'm not
tips
upset.
from NDO or well, first of all, Only Iced Coffee hasn't even been around in years. Seriously, I mean that. Like I rarely see them. When they come by, they renew their sub and that's it. So
bullshit.
Anyway, I don't even know why we're talking about that. All right, I think I might be done with super chat, or excuse me, done with tips. I can go back to the YouTube side now. So Sin popping their membership message, but it's not actually a new membership. Says somehow you made this boring drama a fun stream. GG. Well, thank you. I hope you guys have enjoyed. All right. I feel like if I sat here and I cried or I screamed and raged, it wouldn't have been. It would have been lolcow content. But instead, because I very calmly addressed everything, it ended up being pretty good. So let's see. Carl Philip Gabler with a $10 super chat. You handled the ambush interview really well. I looked up the claim that they made about you begging for groceries this week, and I can't find it. Super weird. Definitely understand why you don't care. Yeah, dude, that's ludicrous. I haven't asked for money for food for mortgage stuff for years. That was years ago. That I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I was like, guys, please tip me because if you don't tip me, I can't afford stuff. That was a long time ago. But they act like it was yesterday. It's not happening anymore. That's the thing. That's the other problem with these people. They will never acknowledge improvement. They'll criticize you for something and say you're bad because you did it, so you don't do it anymore and you change for the better, but then they'll still act like you're doing it. Like, wait, what?
Because you still are, jackass.
Why on earth would anyone ever bring up the Dead Space 2 demo stream that got me banned from Blip TV in 2010 in the year of 2010?
Because you got banned from an entire website. DSP, do you know how insane it is to be banned from an entire website? You were so racist, you got banned from an entire website. That doesn't happen to normal people. Normal people aren't getting banned from entire websites for being racist. You were. You were banned from an entire website because you were so racist. That's why people still bring it up. This is right along the lines of, officer, I murdered those children years ago. Why do people keep bringing it up?
25. It is 15 whole years later, and they bring it up as if it's pertinent to today. Why would someone do that? Have I said anything at all like that or acted like that at any point?
Yes.
In recent memory? Hell, even in the last 10 years, right?
You got kicked out of the Twitch partner program for it, just saying.
It's stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's just not pertinent to anything of who I am today, but they act like it is. They don't let go of the past. They hold on to it because it's like they're clutching at their pearls. Because the moment they drop their pearls, they don't have anything on me. Things have changed. I'm definitely a better person and a better creator now. You know what I'm saying?
X the doubt on both.
Okay. Now we got to look at I'm finally going to look at the kick side. See what's happened here. Dank Sneed Pimp, 5 subs. Awesome. Thank you, Dank Sneed Pimp. I missed it. I totally
He's going to be
didn't
making
see
so
it
much
at all.
fucking money off this. It's going to be insane.
Thank you, Dank Sneed Pimp.
Yeah, in the end, it
Get up
doesn't
on the
matter because
leaderboard.
Doggo's dead beat champions.
So that gets us to 230 in contributions today. Dinksy Pimp actually says they talked at you and not to you. That the detractor gave law enforcement a bad name and Steve got too excited, spurging out like an amateur. Nobody left there a saying. Like I said, no, I'm serious when I said this, right? What did I say? I said, you have to understand that what you're doing right now at your show is very bad for you. You're never going to get another guest.
Yes,
because what guest in their right mind is going to come on your show when it looks like at any moment you could ambush them, and then you're just going to yell at them
with
hours,
facts, guys.
Instead of it being
ambush them with facts. How dare you use facts?
Conversation. You know what I'm saying? You're killing your show for short-term profits, and that's not a good idea at all, right? So, but I don't know if he'll take that to heart or not. Like, he was just way too loud. He was screaming too much. He was talking over me. He was not, being a good host at all. You could, like, if anything, the Side Scrollers interview actually made them look good, in my opinion. If you watch that interview, they look like good hosts, okay? So that probably set them up for some future level of success in some ways. That podcast last night, that was a shit show. That was like again, you're destroying your own show and reputation for short-term profits. I don't get that. Nash. Boy, you have a weird name. I'm just going to say Nash. Did a €5 super chat. I want to send this on Smart Guys, but you had a picture of you and CM Punk, and you both had the same haircut. Also, read the Vince text on next show. From back in the day, I had the same haircut as CM Punk at one point. Did I really? I didn't know that CM Punk, because I've only had a few haircuts. One was a crew cut. Yeah, one's like a crew. Oh, by the way, it's about $7 because the euro is much more
Steve
valuable
did do a
than
little
the dollar.
yelling, but it was usually
It's about a $7.
DSP. It was usually, all right, DSP. What about this from 3 days ago? Well, you see, 17. No, I'm not asking about 17 years ago. I'm asking about 3 days ago. Like, yeah, he did yell a little bit, but it's because DSP is trying to go on another tangent. We ask you yes or no question, and you want to go on a 20-minute story. No, answer the fucking question.
Super chat. I've had a crew cut for most of my life. When I was younger, my hair was very long and I combed it over. And then I've done this kind of, slick back look for a long time. But although it's not really,
the bald spot.
Put any gel or water in it anymore, I just let it puff up after I wash my hair. So I wonder what hairdo you're talking about. Anyway, I don't know anything about Vince McMahon tax at all. I've never even heard of that. I guess maybe eventually we could look into that. Okay? Okay. All right, guys, are we actually good? Like, are we good now? Have we all said what we needed to say? I hope that we said what we needed to say. I hope that everything is good. I hope that we've answered all the questions. And we're good to go. Is everything good? Let me put it this way. I don't want today to be all about this. I want to play Street Fighter with my.
I want to play Street Fighter, guys, but I had to talk about this. Up again,
or is it good? People were saying it was good, but now someone just complained.
He's been going on for hours now about this shit.
Has my mic dropped out? The only time it should drop out. But if I'm in front of the mic, it should be fine. It's good? The person's full of it? Okay. On one chat, literally every single person is saying the microphone is good, and in the other chat, everyone is saying it's bad.
Snake kiss.
I'm just going to take a quick look at the filters. Okay, the noise gate is exactly the same and didn't change. I still have the same 2 filters on here. These have not changed whatsoever, okay? I'll go to the proprietary mic software. I'll check this. It's on auto level gain. I'll turn it off and on again. Now it's off, so it probably sounds different, okay? Now it's on. So now it's doing auto gain, auto limiter, auto everything, basically. Okay. I'm still at the 60% bright setting. I still have the real-time denoiser on. And we don't have a high-pass filter on. I never did. I never had this on, I don't think. Nope, I never had this on. I don't know what this does, actually. High-pass filter? It says that it would stop, like, air conditioning noise. Okay.
Not a bad use.
Okay, so I think it's good. I don't see what you guys are mentioning. Obviously, I'll try to listen back later.
I say it was fun watching him bitch.
It is not really cutting out.
And cry.
Okay.
It was supposed to be about how much you love me, my content.
Are we good?
How dare you ask about stuff that's not about how much you love me, my content.
Now it's quiet after toggling auto fade. No. It was quiet before I turned it back on. I turned it off. When I turned it off, it's very quiet. When I turn it back on, it buffs it back up. So now it should be good. Okay? All right. So now that we've had arguably the longest podcast ever, that's it. That's my last thought. That's my last, thing. I'm not going to say nothing else. I'm done with this topic. We move on positively. All right. And again, you can believe what you want. You cannot believe what you want. You believe whatever you want. All right. It's up to you. Like I said, the truth is in the eye of the beholder, correct?
Beer holder.
For me, obviously, I think Steve's a pretty underhanded jerk with how he behaved. And I think that was
the White House banned the AP. What? They asked him too many hard questions, huh?
Hugely. He's only going to have an audience at the detractor community moving forward because he acted like an asshole.
He already had over 15,000 subs. He already has millions of views on his videos combined. He already has his own audience. Now he's gaining a new audience. I became a member or a sub to him and all that. I'm guessing many others did because he's shot up over 500 subs from where he was beforehand. How many of those people are going to be watching other videos? Even if, all right, 500 people join, they only watch one video a week. Hey, an extra 2,000 views a month? Not bad. I'll take an extra 2,000 views a month. No other reason than I made fun of a piece of shit like DSP.
That he conducted himself, all right?
I'm just being honest.
That's my take. It was a complete lie. It was a bait and switch. I'm going to, believe what Ashton has told me. He's saying that they didn't know on Kino Casino that he was going to behave like that. And that was definitely a shock to them as well.
And I love that DSP believes them.
Go. All right, that's it.
They are fucking with DSP so much, and I love it.
Positively and go from there. All right, and that's that. Sean just did a super chat. Dark side deflector. There you go. I'm the master deflector. That's the light you're seeing behind me is actually me deflecting things, and it makes explosions when I do it. Right? It's like a lightsaber deflecting the lasers from the stormtroopers. There you go. Very nice. The dark side deflection. Okay, so sadly, it's Canadian dollar. It's only worth like $1. So FYI,
it's only $1, guys.
I'm now going to end the show. We're actually going to get set up for some Street Fighter. All right, we'll see how that goes. I don't know if I'll get my to master now because now we have less than 2 hours.
I need to get ready.
But it is
what it is. I already shouted all that before I started the stream because just in case
it would be great if we could get to 300 today. It would count as an additional goal and get us to 13, which would be amazing if we did that. I mean, the fact that we're already so close, I would hope that we could do that by the end of this stream and get closer to our goals of 20 for whatchamacallit, for DSP Tries It, Donald's, Shamrock Shake, and also to hit 50 and do our next marathon, all right? Well, thanks, Sneed Pimp. Just gifted 10 subs, community. Thank you, Dank Sneed Pimp, for 10 subs. That means he did a total of 15 today. All right, and that means we are now up to 286. He's probably gonna reach 300
easily today.
Meaning we're only 14 bucks away from hitting our second tier goal today. Very nice. All right.
Check my Twitter.
All right. In all seriousness, for anyone who actually listened to this whole thing or watched it, thank you for your time.
Sure out.
I'm done with it.
Thank you for that.
Not my first rodeo. Very boring to me. Didn't even really want to talk about it, but I knew I had to. And now that we've talked about it, we can move on positively. We don't have to bring it up and go from there. Fair enough.
DS positive.
All right, guys. I'm not here tomorrow. Remember, I'm off. I'll be back on Sunday. And on Sunday, I'm sure I'll talk about how Street Fighter went. We'll talk about how Elden Ring, the network test went. If I even got to play it, because I don't know if I'll get to. We don't know if it's actually going to work or not, right? We have no clue if the network test is going to work. Tonight, we'll find out. And any other news and stuff that happens over, the weekend, I'll talk about on Sunday's show.
Today's Friday,
also, one final thing. I actually did make some clips from yesterday's podcast of me reacting to various game trailers. And I think I may actually upload those as highlights over the course of my day off. That there's some new videos on the channel, despite the fact I won't be here. It maybe give you something to watch if you didn't see yesterday's podcast. And it's certainly more digestible when I upload it as a separate video as opposed to cramming all of those into one podcast, right? Okay? All righty, folks. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I hope that you and yours have
Valentine's Day. He's not
today,
spending with his
if you
wife.
have someone, and if not, it's all good.
Don't forget, he's not spending with his wife.
For my
He's
streams.
spending it with his chat.
Have a good Saturday tomorrow, and I will see you all.
He loves his chat more than his wife because his chat gives him money.
Guys, see you then. Okay. So, what I need to do is set up for Street Fighter. But before we play, I do have to pee. Okay, I do have to.
Of course, he's got to take a break, guys. Sat there and cried in bags. He's got to take a break, right, Robert Carmichael?
Think about this. I have to set everything up again.
Terrible clip art that he didn't make. But according to Darziak, Darziak did not make it, according to Darziak.
Close this. We don't need that.
So
let's see here.
In my heart of hearts, I think he got denied for a home refinance.
There's Street Fighter 6.
That the refinancing was going to be his way to get out of debt.
I need to get this camera working.
I refinance, I'll be able to pay off all my back. I got taxes and my current taxes. I'll be fine, guys.
It's not going to follow me around.
What do you mean, no? Fuck you.
Here we go.
But I need that refinance. I really do. I need a refinance to pay my bills.
This?
Well, it sucks for you, but we're not giving you shit.
Okay. So for Street Fighter, a couple things.
Number one. Guys, we didn't get the master with Mai. It's bullshit. I played for like an hour and a half, guys.
Let me change this. Let's see.
Let's see. He's $12 away from 800. He's definitely gonna hit that. Will he hit 450?
Street Fighter, I usually have this around the middle of the screen.
I won't be here for that.
Am I too big? No. Am I a good size for Street Fighter? I guess I am. I gotta turn all the lights off though. That's what I'm missing. Gotta turn all the lights off. That I can leave on, but those I turn off, and I gotta turn all the LEDs off behind me. Okay. So now there should be no lights behind me messing with the camera. I'm gonna briefly go use the restroom, everybody. So let's watch some clips, some fun clips.
15 years doing this shit, and he still sucks at it.
With
amazing.
Street Fighter 6 for you. Okay? Cool. No.
Ban. Well, wearing the Nazi hat. After earlier discussing that it was not a Nazi hat. It's not a Nazi hat. Ban. Well, guys, unlike him, I have plans for tonight. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Hopefully you had a good time. I know I did. I knew this was going to be a great cope session. Well, with that, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for watching. As always, like, subscribe, comment down below, and have one hell of a day. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. Nintendo DS, terrible. Yeah, how did he not be like, alright guys, I'm known as the dictator, I'm gonna wear a dictator hat. No, it's not a Nazi hat. Except, you're constantly acting like a Nazi. You got banned from the entire website for being a Nazi. You got banned from an entire website for acting like a Nazi. How do you put on a Nazi hat and be like, no one's gonna associate this with me being a Nazi, guys. Except everyone fucking does. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, man. All right, I gotta get going. See you guys.